chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our fathers going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our
Hey, shalom. Welcome back to our Hidden History radio show. I'm Deacon and to your left.
Captain Joel.
Officer Hine.
To my right. To my right.
Officer Lacroix.
We're back. It's been a while. Due to Tabernacles, they had to postpone the show, but we're back. Hopefully you've been paying attention. Hopefully you've been compiling your notes if you've been taking them. So we're gonna just get into it. Let me get back to where I was at. First of all, I want to go to the book, The View. Manny, I want page 183. I bought the site that I tend to cover my bases. I don't like to have people, be skeptic or say I'm trying to hide something or I'm running over information quickly on purpose. So I want to go back to it real quick. 183 is I made mention about the particular order of the ancient pre-Mayan, Aztec, and Inca civilizations and their ancestry. As you know, I brought out a couple of weeks ago how the Toltecs, they preceded the Aztecs, and the Chichimecs as well preceded the Aztecs. They're all one family. And this book gives you I use other sources to show that they came first. Like I use Kingsborough's book. That book is worth like $60,000, so I can reference all I want. None of us can afford that unless you're a freaking celebrity. If you're a celebrity, my email is
12 Crowns Music.
that's not my email. that's your email. Anyway, I used his book to basically he referenced the same sources as I reference here. Not this source, but he made reference to the fact that the Aztecs came from the Toltecs, and the word Toltec comes from a place called Tula or Toltec, and the word Tola represents Jerusalem. Aztlan represented Canaan. Okay, Tula was 4 places: Babylon and in Jerusalem. And on this side, it was two unknown places on this side of the world as well. They referred to as it. But the ancient terms was Jerusalem and Babylon, from which they came different time periods when they arrived here. From Solomon's time period earlier on, and leaving from Babylon or Assyria later on after the Persian liberation they received under King Cyrus. So real quick, page 183. Jazz, I want you to just read from where it says, the Toltecs appeared first.
The Toltecs appeared first in the year 648. The Chichimecs in 1170. The Nuotes in 1178. The Acohes and Aztecs in 1196.
So these dates are somewhat off, because remember Solomon arrived around that's around 900s, late 900s BC. So it couldn't have been before that. So that's why I made reference earlier, way back, about dates and be mindful of them. However, even though the dates are somewhat erroneous, the time periods in which these nations came out from the other are accurate in terms of, it mentions the Toltecs came first, Chichimecs came out of the Toltecs, and then the Oahes and Aztecs came out from them. All right, those are their ancestors. All right. So the Aztecs descend from both Toltecs and Chichimecs. Other sources I used, aside from this one, substantiate the same facts. They don't use the same years, but they substantiate the same facts that they came from them, all right? And they traversed Mexico. I read before, left this out, how the Olmecs, I left it out, there's a book I left out where it says that the Olmecs were migrated into areas of South America, okay? They migrated into Guatemala, in that area. That'd be your Mayans, okay? Guatemala. So the Olmecs migrated there, and they are the ancestors of the Mayans. They're a family. They're linked together. They have historical ties, all right? So I covered that area. That was pretty much. I'm kind of rehashing from the last time we were on. So now, let's go on to. I lost my damn place. Here we go. All right, so let's go where I was at. We're gonna go. I left off with Ezekiel 28 regarding Sidon, where it mentions how I showed how in that particular chapter, Ezekiel 28 was prophetic regarding different captivities and present in different captivities, and also how Zebulon's border will be into Zidon. That's referring to this side of the world. Okay, just as Ezekiel 28 is referring to this side of the world as well as the other, so Zidon is referred to symbolically as America, as it was referring to America in regarding Zebulon in Genesis 49 and 13. All right, that's where I left off at. So now we're going to deal with Gad. Give me Deuteronomy 33 and 20. Deuteronomy 33, verse 20.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 20.
We're gonna delve into Gad now, because it's been a long time. I'm kind of excited about Gad because I always used to bring this out back in the day in the Bronx camp, in the street, regarding Thanksgiving. All right. So Deuteronomy 33, verse 20.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 20. And of Gad, he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad.
So the he is the Lord. Blessed be he who enlargeth Gad, because the so-called North American Indians are the largest nation on this side of the world. They believe it's about 500 nations, correct?
Yes.
500 nations alone, of all family ties. Go ahead.
He dwelleth as a lion, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
Right, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head, because what they're known for historically is their crown of feathers. Teareth the arm, goes into their blood packs and so forth, and he is fierce as a lion. They painted their faces lions. They wore war paint, painted their faces lions. They're very warlike people, very fierce, very mighty. I did a class a long time ago called Walk with the Giants, and I touched on the ferocity and the power and speed and strength of the North American Indians on this side of the world when they faced against the Spaniards. Now, the Spaniards came over here, they had armor on. They had complete metal armor. And the Native Americans are so strong that I think they had arrows made of wood or stone.
Made of wood.
Made of wood.
The arrowhead was made of stone.
The arrowhead was made of stone, and the arrow was made of wood. They would pierce through the metal of the armor. They would shoot through trunks of trees. That's how strong they were. Okay? Imagine you shooting a stone arrow through the trunk of a tree. They could also dodge bullets. They were moving they dodged musket bullets. Esau shooting one musket bullet. They dodged that, hit him with 3 arrows. So you go back to my Walk with the Giants class, I go heavily into the fierceness and veracity and how they also had their faces painted as faces painted that struck fear into the hearts of the Spaniards on this side of the world, and the English and so forth and Europeans that came to this side of the world. All right, so read it again.
And of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad.
He'll be enlarged as a nation. Go ahead.
He dwelleth as a lion,
Fierce nation.
and teareth the arm with the crown of the head.
And with the crown of the head goes into the leadership, going into, because the war chief, they had to go through many wars and survive the wars and age as well to earn that crown of feathers. Okay, each feather represented their war and their success in battle and so forth. So their crown, oftentimes the crown of feathers was very, very long, down to their damn ankles. Okay, regarding that, and they would be very old because they were pretty much retired. Read on, the chiefs. Read on, next one.
Verse 21. And he provided the first part for himself.
So it says he provided the first part for himself. He provided the first part for himself. Go ahead.
Because there, in a portion of the lawgiver.
So he provided the first part for himself means the land. The first part for himself meaning it's referring to not America. It's not referring to Israel. I'm going to bring that out. Go ahead. The first part means the best part of the land. The best part of the land in Israel was Judah's land. It was not Gad's land. It was Judah's land. That was the best part. First part means the best part. So Gad did not receive the best part of land on the promised land. Did not receive it. So it's not referring to the other side of the world. Go ahead.
And he provided the first part for himself.
For himself, go ahead.
Because there
in that best part of the land, go ahead.
In a portion of the lawgiver was he seated.
Gad was seated as a lawgiver. Was Gad ever a lawgiver in the promised land with Moses and them? Was he put in a position as a lawgiver? No, he was not. Go ahead.
And he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord.
So he came with the head. Who were the heads of the people? Ephraim and Manasseh. And you be back to verse 17. When they brought them to the ends of the earth. When it says he came with the heads of the people, it's referring to he came with them and he went with them where? To the ends of the earth. In verse 17. All right, go ahead.
He executed the justice of the Lord.
And there, in that side of the world where he was led, he went the heads of the people, He executed the what? The justice of God. Why? Because he was set as a lawgiver. Now, I left this out. Give me Bible Hub.
Hey, Deacon, I can bring out something real quick.
Yeah, you can.
Because like I said, we don't have too many pictures or evidence of Gad, like, in the warlike features,
Right.
and a warlike apparel, and just them, in a natural, this natural habitat. Can you play that for me, real quick? This is just a depiction of Gad, in his warlike attire, just in his natural state. Just put that up for me real quick. Just want to show an example of Gad, so because a lot of you people out there.
Doing their old sit and boo? I compete.
So these are examples of modern day Gadites.
Right.
You think Gad, you see, you think Gad is, Gad has a long hair.
Hey, Shalom. Can I get Matthews 18 real quick?
You see that brother right there with the fro?
Yeah, that's a prime example of
That's a prime example of Gad. Look at that. In his natural
come on,
state.
Cat,
Look at
If
him.
you look closely, you see him talking to the horse's ears,
Yeah.
asking tongues going to be
So
all
this-
right.
Oh,
You see him putting his hands in the grass.
Because everybody think, this is the truth.
See how comfortable he looks?
Yeah, he gave you that nod. He's like, yeah, this me.
yo,
This is the truth.
That's Icon Pete right there, man.
I can honestly say that it felt very natural being on that horse.
Of
man.
course it did. Of course it
But
did.
I appreciate you, Cap. Thank you. Man.
Thank you. All praise to the Lord. All praises. We're to bring that out. We're to bring that out. Wow. All praises. All praises. Lord's will, just will come in next week. Two braids. Feathers in the back. Let us know what you heard at some point in time. Give me Bible Hub real quick. Get Deuteronomy 33:21.
That's good.
In there. Deuteronomy 33:21. Just type it in. 33:21. It's going to give you a pulpit commentary regarding what we just read regarding him as city as a lawgiver. Because some say, when it says first part, it's referring to the first part of land that they got. Remember, Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh, the half of Manasseh, got their land first. So they say, no, that means they're the first ones to get land. Even if you use that as an example, when was Gad ever seen as a lawgiver? He was not ever seen as a lawgiver. You got it there? Go to the pulpit commentary. It should be in the bottom. I hope it's there. Shoot. Go down to the bottom. Yep, keep going. You see pulpit commentary. Right there. Yep. Okay, Lord, read that right there. Read that. Okay, this is regarding verse 21. Okay, I can see right here. This is good. I can see right here.
That's nice.
Yeah, looks good. All right, go ahead, Judge. You got it?
I got it.
You got
see
it?
closer.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, you got it. Bring
This
it
is the
up.
pulpit commentary. This is the white man. This is co-signing. We know what it says, but some of you who don't really care much about. I'm good right here. Oh, I'll take that. Yes, right here. Go ahead. 21.
Pulpit commentary. Verse 21 refers to Gad's obtaining an inheritance for himself from Moses beyond Jordan.
Go ahead.
And he provided the first part for himself.
We just read that. Go ahead.
Literally, he saw for himself, i.e. chose. The first, i.e. either the most excellent part of the first fruits of the conquest.
Right. This is either the most excellent part or the first fruits of the conquest. So it's not either. It's one. It's the most excellent part. The best part. The best part was given to Judah. Okay, Judea. That was the best part. But go ahead.
Because there,
Remember, the Lord chose Zion. He chose that area, the city of David. Judah was the best part. So what's not getting it the best part? Go ahead, watch.
because there, in a portion of the lawgiver was he seated.
Right, watch this. Go ahead.
Rather, for there the portion of the leader was reserved. The word rendered lawgiver, or leader, signifies primarily one who ordains or appoints, and is used in both the above senses. Exodus 33:22, Judges 5:14.
Watch this.
It is here applied to Gad because
It is here, lawgiver is applied to Gad. Watch this.
because that tribe displays such promptitude and energy at the head of the tribes in the conquest of the land, that it might be regarded as their leader.
It might be regarded as the leader. Gad might be regarded as the leader. Go ahead.
An entirely different view of the passage has. What did you do?
Go back up. The other way.
Okay.
Come on, don't do that while I'm reading, bro.
Come on, man. Come on. You're flowing well. Come on.
Okay, where are we now?
Let's go to promptitude. Displayed such promptitude and energy at the head of the tribes.
An entirely different view of the passage has been taken by some.
By some, go ahead.
Who by the Mekokek?
Mekokek. Keep that in mind. Mekokek. Go ahead.
Who by the Mekokek understand Moses as the lawgiver.
Right, the Mekokek understand Moses as the lawgiver. What's happening? Why is it jumping up and down?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
No cap.
I'm good.
Go ahead. Mekokek understand.
Highlight it.
Bro, just don't move it. Don't touch it.
Come on.
Who by the Mekokek understand Moses as the lawgiver.
Keep that word in mind. Who by the Mekokek understand Moses as the lawgiver. Mekokek. Makokek. Watch this.
And his portion as the place of his grave, which was concealed but was within the inheritance of Gad.
That's a suspicion. Go ahead.
But it is a fatal objection to this view that not only is the word rendered portion nowhere used of a grave, but the grave of Moses on Mount Nebo was in the territory of Reuben, not in that of Gad.
Gesenius
renders the portion of a sign by the lawgiver was preserved.
Go ahead.
But this does not tally with the immediately preceding statement
Go ahead.
that Gad chose his portion for himself. At any rate, it could not be because
of this.
I'm waiting for it. Of this that he chose it. Gad chose for himself a portion on the east of Jordan, and a portion he had chosen was sacredly kept for him. Though he went with his brethren to the conquest of Canaan, and he came with the heads of the people. His place of marching was with the leaders, his place at the head of the tribes. Numbers 32:17, 21, 32. And Joshua 1:14, Joshua 4, verse 12.
Go ahead. Keep going.
All right. He executed the justice of the Lord. He did what God required of him, obeying his commands, and thereby fulfilling all righteousness of Matthew 3:15, Philippians 3:6, with Israel, and the fellowship of Israel.
Right. So this thing is done with Canaan. I'm going to show how it's not. Regarding him being the law, he was ever seated as lawgiver. Ever seated as lawgiver in the land. Now, go back up real quick. I want to see something. To the same paragraph. It says Mekokek. Hold on. It says either, I'm trying to find it, because the portion of lawgiver was he seated, rather for there the portion of the leader was reserved. The word rendered lawgiver or leader signifies primarily one who ordains or appoints, blah. It is here applied to Gad. What's applied to Gad? Lawgiver, because that his tribe displayed such promptitude and energy at the head of the tribes in the conquest of the land that it might be regarded as their leader. That's not biblical. That's not biblical at all. Gad was not regarded as a lawgiver at any point in time in the promised land. Not at all. Joshua was. Now, just to further confirm my point, I want to get, what do I want? Get me View of the Hebrews regarding Mekokek. I said it already. That book. Page 85. Give me the view. Page 85. And I also left off talking about William Penn. And I showed a video last time about how William Penn did not go to war with the Native Americans. He was at peace with them for a good reason, because he knew who they were. He understood the consequence of messing around with God's people. He's one of the very few Edomites that had sense enough to say, you know what, this God's people, I ain't messing with them. Okay, that's who the word Pennsylvania is named after, William Penn. I'll go back to view, page 85. Page 85. You have 85. They used it mad times. You definitely have 85. You use that page mad times. You gotta have that page. I used it before. We read points 1 through 7 before. You don't have it, I'll give you the book, but I know I gave it to you weeks ago. You didn't put it in the folder? Okay, maybe so. Yeah,
it shows you. It's so much. It's so much evidence out there confirming the tribes. That's why we have people. That's why we have people. Gad or the Northern Kingdom being the Israelites. It's just out of ignorance. People follow whatever's the trend on the internet, and it's all social media, and mainly women.
Women.
Because women don't. A lot of you sisters, I'm telling you straight up, a lot of you sisters are on Facebook all day. You just reposting things that you see, and you just following somebody.
And you're rod hungry. You're
Yeah.
bored. Nothing else better to do. You're lonely, sitting home, or your man's up under your skirt. He's your beard. You're his beard. Whatever the case may be. This doctrine's coming from primarily women. Women who don't like other women. Women who feel threatened by their own women who lack the woolly hair or the baldness. A lot of you sisters don't have. A lot of you sisters have low self-esteem in terms of your hair or its texture. A lot of you suffer from certain hair ailments that make you have a hatred towards sisters who don't. And so you automatically deem those who have hair unlike wool to be non-Israelites. Yet you hypocritically say that only Afro-Latinos are Israel, and oftentimes their hair is not woolly either. They be dark as night, and their hair be fine and thin. So you got a wide-nosed, dark, big-lipped, black woman or man in the Americas with fine hair that's not woolly, and yet you say they're Israel. So which one is it? Is it the hair texture that makes them not Israel, or the skin? Which one is it? That shows that you are, in fact, a simpleton. You don't know what you're talking about. You can't make your mind up. And also, what I tend to do is when I tend to watch my videos again, I go back and watch them again to see if I left any points out, which I have. And I like to watch the live chats. A lot of you gotta stop arguing with the scoffers and scorners. You're wasting your time. They're morons. They're not up here doing what we're doing. They're on the comment board watching and taking notes. Because they're not built like us. They have to sit around and critique. You had one guy, I think he was Edom. He was saying something about there's no Mexicans that said that they're Israelites. Well, if you watch parts 1, 2, and 3, I have books that they told the Europeans that came over here that they were Israelites. So
Right.
you lose that battle. You gotta go back and watch 1, 2, and 3. You're gonna be all right. But we got a little surprise guest for you. Since you want a Mexican to say he's Israel, we got something for you.
Bring it out.
Read points 1 through 7. This is page 85 of The View. All right? We got something for y'all, scoffers and scorners, occasionally.
Point 1. The American natives have one origin.
So American natives have one origin. They all come from one people. They're not different nations, one people. There's not Asians, then Negroes, or whatever, Mongolians, like you idiots be saying. There's no evidence you can substantiate that proves that they're Asians. None. That's Caucasian. That's Caucasity. Caucasian information. Okay? And there's much information that substantiates that they're not. Okay? Much evidence. Okay? Read on.
2. Their language appears to have been Hebrew.
Right. Their language appears to have been Hebrew. Go ahead.
3. They have had their imitation of the Ark of the Covenant in ancient Israel.
Right, because the white man who y'all use to say that they're Asians, when they came over here, multitudes of European explorers and conquerors came to the same conclusion that they are Israelites. But you had a few who understood the danger of this information and decided to spread the lie of the Bering Strait, or did not understand that the Native Americans were highly more advanced than they thought they were. So they believe that they walked over here, even though some Europeans were told by Native Americans themselves that they sailed here from the east. Most accounts make substantiation that they sailed here from the east. They didn't come here from the north. They came from the east. They sailed here on boats from the east. Go ahead.
4. They have been in the practice of circumcision.
Right. They were keeping Judaic customs. Go ahead.
5. They have acknowledged one and only one God.
Go ahead.
6. The celebrated William Penn gives account of the natives of Pennsylvania, which go to corroborate the same point.
That they're Israelites. Go ahead.
7.
Verse 7's what we want.
The Indians, having one tribe, answering in various respects to the tribe of Levi, sheds further light on this subject.
So there's a particular tribe of Native Americans that were very much like the Levites. How so? If you recall last show, I showed y'all a figurine of a Sioux Indian woman. She had a ribbon of blue and fringes on, and she had bells hanging on the bottom of her garment. Now that's not particular. That's not something that the Levite women did scripturally. The men, the high priests wore the bells. However, a particular tribe placed themselves in a Levitical position on this side of the world. Okay? Now remember the word I told you to remember. I told you to remember the word mekokek. Remember that word. It plays a very significant role. Let's get page 108, same book, regarding Mr. Penn or William Penn, giving the account substantiating that these guys were in fact Hebrews or Israelites, not Chinese, not Japanese, not Asian, unless you're referring, we're all Asian really. Asian means from the East. So you can say they're Asian. I'm Asian too. And so you scoffers and scorners that call yourselves Israelites, you're Asians also. We all come from the East or Orient. Page 108. Same book. We're going to start from where it says Mr. Penn proceeds to, and we're going to end at Mohawks, as in Mohawk Indians. Page 108, Mr. Penn proceeds to. This is a reference to the Pennsylvania natives, Native Americans that were living in Pennsylvania prior to being killed or enslaved or chased out of the land. Okay, that's where the term Pennsylvania comes from. It comes from William Penn. Do I believe he was at peace with the Native Americans? Not really, but whatever. That's just my personal.
You had it before.
Page 108. Come on.
You got page 108 and 109. Just slide it to one side.
Yeah, just check the online request. I sent it. Come on, brothers. Blow it up.
That's okay. That ain't the top of the book anyway. It's on top of the page. Top of the book is on top of the page. It's not on top of the page. So you ain't gotta do that. Thanks though.
All right. We starting at Mr. Penn, Deacon.
Yeah, Mr. Penn, and we're gonna end at Mohawks. Mr. Penn proceeds to.
Mr. Penn proceeds to describe their splendid feast of the first fruits.
So they kept the feast of first fruits. What's that feast they called? First fruits. And I believe that's called Pentecost. Or is it Tabernacle?
No, Pentecost.
Pentecost, right.
Mm-hmm.
Pentecost, first fruits. First fruits, go ahead.
One of which he had attended.
I'm thinking about ingathering, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
First fruits is Pentecost, yes. Go ahead. Feast of Weeks, go ahead.
One of which he had attended.
So William Penn attended one of their feast days. They were keeping Pentecost on this side of the world in captivity. And William Penn, thank you, all praises. And William Penn attended one of the feasts. Go ahead.
He informs all that go to this feast must take a piece of money, which is made of the bone of a fish. None shall appear before me empty.
So that's where they got it from. They all bought gifts. They all bought presents and things, money to the feast. Go ahead.
He speaks of the agreement of their rights with those of the Hebrews. He adds, they reckon by moons.
They keep their feast days by moons. Go ahead.
They offer their first ripe fruits. They have a kind of feast of tabernacles.
And they keep tabernacles. That's why they dwelt in booths. They called the booths teepees. They called them teepees. You watch a movie called The Revenant, Esau was saved by that thing. The Gadites saved his life when you watch the movie. They dwelt in teepees. When they would move, they take the teepees, roll them up and move on somewhere else. They kept tabernacles. I said that before. I mixed it around. They kept first fruits and they kept tabernacles. Go ahead.
They are said to lay their altars with 12 stones.
They have altars of 12 stones. That's in the Bible. 12 stones. What other nation does that? Show me Asian. Show me the Chinese do that.
Right.
Show me the Chinese first fruits. Show me the Japanese tabernacles. Show it to me. Go ahead.
They mourn a year. They have their separations of women.
They have unclean. Women are unclean, menstruate. They have a place of separation for them. A place of separation for the women. Go ahead.
With many other things that do not now occur. Here's a most
Many other things that do not what? Many other things that do not what?
here with many other things that do not now occur.
Because they forgot. They were enslaved, colonized. What the custom was, kill the Indians, save the man. Okay? That's what they did. They began to erase our culture and history from our people on this side of the world in these boarding schools. One of them was called Carlisle Institute and Virginia State, I believe. University was another one. It was at HBCU. They have blacks and Native Americans in there being taught to be great agriculturalists, learn how to work the land. There's a picture, I believe, in Carlisle Institute of both blacks and Native Americans in the classroom being Europeanized in the school. I believe it's Hampton University, Hampton University, and Carlisle Institute.
Change their dress.
Change how they dress, change how they cut their hair, all of that. Their names, and the schools were hundreds of miles from their homes. If the children were disobedient, they would kill them and bury them under the yard.
And put a monkey suit on them.
Right, give them a monkey suit, but they were rebellious against the school's curriculum. They would oftentimes beat the children, kill them, and the bodies are buried under the school. You understand? Continue.
Says here, with many other things that do not now occur. Here is a most artless testimony given by the notable man, drawn from his own observations.
William Penn, I think it is. Go ahead.
And accounts given by him, which the thought of this people, having actually Hebrew, probably was most distant from his mind.
Go ahead.
The having a tribe, answering in various respects to the tribe of Levi.
They're having a tribe, having in various respects in Pennsylvania to the tribe of Levi. Go ahead.
Sheds for the light on this subject. The thought naturally occurs, that is, those are the 10 tribes, and they have preserved so many of their religious traditions.
They are the 10 tribes. They are of the 10 tribes. Go ahead.
10 tribes, and they have preserved so many of their religious traditions. Should we not be likely to find among them some traditions of a tribe answering to, next page,
You haven't passed the Mohawks. You passed Mohawks or no? Not yet, right?
No, sir. I haven't.
Keep going. So it's 109 then. I didn't write that down. We're going to get there. We have 109, right? 109's there? You have both sides of the page, right?
Yeah, right there. Is that it?
Not needing no 109.
No? Damn. Hold on. You gotta say something. Let's show people. Well, say something.
Appreciate it, Deacon.
Hold on, I'll say something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just amazing
109.
how Captain gonna sit here and allow that page 85 to slide by you, Cap. It says amongst the natives, there was a tribe like the Levi, man.
Oh.
I can't get around the we can't clap our hands for ourselves. See, y'all just went over that. You know what I'm saying? Levi is everywhere. You're just gonna have to deal with us. And that's in the law. I'm gonna find a scripture later on. I'm gonna pull it. You must always reserve a place for us.
But they weren't Levi.
They were associated because of the custom.
They carried themselves as Levi.
Like
they weren't
priests.
Levi.
And why would that be? Why would that be? Because we had an influence on them.
Oh, God.
All praises to the Most High. I just wanted to bring that out.
Clap your hand for
But
yourself.
who trained you?
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Who raised you?
Levi.
Oh, man. This is a never-ending battle with y'all, man. Levi, can't just let it go, man. We can't just have anything, man. We've always got to be up in there somewhere.
I don't see. We just popped up in the text, Deke. You know what I'm saying? It's not our fault. You know what I mean?
But there's no way around this history, man. The 10 tribes, the Native Americans, the so-called Mexicans, they are in fact the Israelites that the Bible speaks about.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? There's no denying it. There's no denying this.
Right.
You know, with the scriptures that's why we use the books to correlate with the scriptures to back up the information. You know, so They are the 10
Right.
tribes.
So remember, we're still dealing with the Mohawk, lawgiver information. Remember that? And one tribe, but in particular in North America, carried themselves as Levites, as priests. So watch this. Continue. This continues from 108. Watch this. We're going to stop at Mohawk.
Right. Find among them some traditions of a tribe answering to the tribe of Levi.
Right. Go ahead.
If we should find something of this, the evidence of their being the tribe of Israel would indeed be more striking. Possibly. Blow this up. Now you can blow this other page up. Blow it up. Blow it up. All right, go up. Thank you. If we should find something of this, the evidence of their being the tribes of Israel would indeed be more striking. Possibly this is furnished. The Mohawk tribe were held by the other tribes in a great reverence.
The who?
The Mohawk tribe were held.
The Mohawk tribe. The Mohawk tribe. Well, what?
The Mohawk tribe were held by the other tribes in great reverence.
Go ahead.
And the other tribes round about them had been accustomed to pay them an annual tribute.
Annual tribute. Go ahead.
Mr. Boudinot gives the following account of them. Mr. Colden says he had been told by old men, Indians,
Old man. Go ahead. The chiefs. Go ahead.
in New England,
New England. Go ahead.
that when their Indians were at war, formerly with the Mohawks, as soon as a Mohawk appeared,
As soon as a Mohawk appeared, watch this. One. Go ahead.
the Indians would raise a cry from hill to hill, a Mohawk, upon which all would flee as sheep before a wolf.
So when the Mohawks showed up, they were all run.
Damn.
Because they were afraid of the Mohawks. You try to fight one, they said, oh, it was a war. The Mohawks coming. They all ran. They were scared of the Mohawk. Watch this. Go ahead.
Without attempting to make the least resistance,
No fighting. Go ahead.
and that all the nations around them have for many years entirely submitted to their advice and paid them a yearly tribute.
Well, all the nations did what?
And that all the nations around them have for many years entirely submitted to their advice.
To their what?
Advice.
Their advice. And what?
And paid them a yearly tribute.
Tithes. Tithes. Why the Mohawk tribe getting tithes? Why? Hey, why are they called Mohawks? Let's continue.
This guy. And the tributary nations dared not to make war or peace without the consent of the Mohawks.
They didn't go to war or make peace without the consent or advice of the Mohawks. Why? Continue.
Mr. Colden goes on to state an instance of their speech to the governor of Virginia, in which it appears the Mohawks were the correctors of the misdoings of the other tribes.
Lawgivers. They were the lawgivers. Lawgiver leaders.
Wow.
This is not talking about Canaan.
Wow.
Let's continue. Watch.
Now, could anything be found in their name which might have an allusion to the superiority of the tribe of Levi?
Where's the bomb? What the hell is?
We didn't need any bombs for that. We didn't need any bombs.
Yo, take that back.
Yeah. Erase that.
I mean, no. All jokes aside, the traits. What is explaining here is the traits of the Mohawks. They had to get that understanding from somewhere. When they were in the land,
Right.
the customs of Israel being together
Right.
is what they were practicing right now amongst themselves.
Right. Levi was found among all the tribes, so he got that from Levi as well. He did. I cannot knock it. I will give Levi the credit when it is due.
Okay. Hey, Dick. You know we like to stick to the law. Could I just get one scripture real quick, please?
Now Levi want to speak all of a sudden.
Right there.
Now the
He
quad's
wanna talk.
He got
quad's
something
huffing
to
and
talk.
also the quad's huffing and pussing.
The class 3 hours longer than what it already is.
Thank you. We going longer today. Deuteronomy 12:19, please. Thank you.
Let's read that.
I ain't reading that.
real quick.
You gonna read that, Jay?
Yeah, he gonna read that, all right.
He's biting Levi. That's you get. You ready to read for him?
Hold on.
Because God was, trying to be like us. So God.
Whatever, man. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 19.
Put some life into it when you read it too. Thank you.
Take heed to thyself that thou forsake not the Levite
Thank
as long as thou livest upon the earth.
You hear that, Cap? Damn.
All praises to the Most High. Continue, sir. With the superiority of the tribe of Levi. That's where you left off.
Dick, if I may, right?
I don't want you.
Deacon, you gonna let them do this right now,
No,
Deacon?
It's not about the. Remember on the page earlier when I read about the 12 stones?
Yes.
I just wanted to read that.
Sure, you read that. Yes,
All right,
yes.
Exodus 39, verse 14.
Right. Yes. You get that. They were practicing that as well on this side. Right.
The book of Exodus, chapter 39, verse 14.
Yes.
The book of Exodus, chapter 39, verse 14. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engraving of a signet, everyone with his name according to the 12 tribes.
Right.
So that's exactly what they was doing on this
side of the world. Correct. So while the Mohawk says, according to their name, they display the superiority of the tribe of Levi. Read it again. Now, could anything be found?
I just get one scripture, Deacon. Malachi 2, verse 8, real quick, please.
Oh, no.
We're not doing this right now.
No, not doing
That
that.
has nothing to
We're not
do
doing
with
that.
the history. That's
We're not
coming
doing
out.
that, Cat. We're
Cat,
not
stop
doing
being a
that,
hater,
Cat.
man. Come
We're
on,
not
man.
doing that.
Thank you.
Get now, can anything be found in their name? This
Hater,
guy.
man,
Oh,
hater.
man. Oh,
Wow.
man.
Shut
I was
down.
going to bring it out.
Wow,
Nah.
man.
What I do?
Wow.
Bring it out, man. It's all good.
I just wanna
Cap.
read the
Cap, I
Bible.
got you. I got you.
Bible. This is Bible.
Oh, man.
All right.
Now could.
Now,
Wow.
could anything be found in their name which might have an allusion to the superiority of the tribe of Levi?
So was there something about their name that makes them about Levi or makes them Levitical? Watch this.
We should think the evidence very considerable that here are indeed the descendants of the part of that tribe which clave to the house of Israel.
Right, based upon their actions, not the lineage. Watch this.
And here too evidence seems not highly wanton.
Really lacking. Go ahead.
The Hebrew word makokek,
Makokek. The Hebrew word makokek. Remember that word we read in BibleHub.com? Go ahead.
signifies an interpreter of the law.
That's what makokek means. Go ahead. Watch this.
Superior. We have then a new view of the possible origin of the Mohawks.
That's what Mohawk means.
Wow.
Mohawkek. Lawgiver. Mohawk means lawgiver. North American Indians. That's what it means. That's what it's going into. All right?
All praises.
Lawgiver.
I'm changing my name.
That's why
I am Mohawk.
That's why the Mohawk showed up. They said, you come. Remember Samuel? He was a priest. They said, you come and stop peaceably? Same thing with the Mohawks showed up. Same thing. Same attitude. Elijah, same thing. Elijah showed up. Elijah showed up. They was terrified. Same thing.
They had that power over
They had that power over here. They gave counsel to receive tithing. They ain't play games. Did not play games. Mohawkek, lawgiver, same thing, same people.
So they was making sure they was keeping the law.
Right, they were. They were doing that. They were
Can
doing
we-
that until they eventually overthrown and conquered and turned against people. Tribes turned against them.
Can we change the direction of the show?
Yeah, it definitely went to
It
80.
went kinda,
it went
yeah.
to 80.
Kind of went left.
Wow.
I got my trigger
We're
fingers.
going to be there for a while.
Thank
trigger
you.
fingers.
Give me the museum images I went. Because,
Malachi 2,
unlike
verse
some of
8.
y'all who have hatred, we up
Malachi
here,
2, verse 8.
we up here, no, doing that. We're not going there. We up here go to museums. I went to the Museum of Natural History. And when you go there, there's images or depictions of Native Americans, and they try to be sick and have a bunch of Asians on the other side of the museum, and then they have Native Americans on the other side of the same floor. I took this picture myself. I have other images as well. Not that one. Go back to who was that before. Right there. I can't find my other ones. I'm gonna find them eventually. But blow this up. You can blow it up as much as you can. Blow it up. If you go to the back. Look at the back writing on the wall. Right there. Blow it, go to that, please, if you can. Blow it up some. Can you bring that closer or no? There you go. Move it over. See what this guy is. Move it over. Move it over. It's an Iroquois. Iroquois wears a ceremonial something. I can't read it. What that says?
Try to zoom out a little bit.
Iroquois wears ceremonial something. I can't read that thing, man. I gotta find it. I have this. This is my picture I have.
Yo, look at his cheeks and nose. Yo, can you put the camera on Jez real quick? Yo, look at his cheeks and nose.
Oh
Yo, look at
man.
his cheeks and
Yo,
nose.
Cat, what is this today, Cat?
Cheeks and nose. Yo, put the camera on Jez real quick. Yo. I want people to really understand
man.
what we're experiencing right now.
Bro,
We experienced a rebirth of Gad right before you right here.
bro, you really
you
put
got
that
the camera
camera
on
on me.
him?
You really put the camera on me, though.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can see it. I can't see it. Come on, man.
Oh,
It's a
man.
delay,
Yo,
man.
look,
It's a
just
delay.
do a comparison analysis. Look at the cheeks and the nose.
Oh man.
What's the comparison, Cat?
Yo, what's going on? I can't see it. Look. You don't see what I'm saying? Look, yo, you don't see what I'm saying? Look at them cheeks.
Why you
And the
doing
nose.
this?
Look at the nose. Look at the cheeks. Now go back to the pic. You see that now? It's not the same nose, not the same cheeks. Look
Cat.
at that.
Cat, why you doing this,
Yo,
man?
he's trying to hide it with braids like it's gonna hide something. Like, he said, maybe I put braids on it. Maybe I look
It's all
like
about,
Judah a
it's
little
all
bit.
about the braids, man.
It's all about the
I'm
braids.
Judah
It's all about
all
the
day.
braids, man.
Hey, look at them cheeks. Look at them hide. Yo, look at him smile.
Oh,
Yo, come
Can we
on.
get back to the class?
Yeah.
Can we get back to the class?
Man.
I'm sorry, man.
That's what you get for trying to join Levi. That's what you
Oh man, you can't make this up, man. I'm sorry.
Jez, do not join the enemy.
Wow.
Join the lawgiver.
Anyway,
Who's the enemy?
Anyway, listen. So we're back. We're back again. We're back. Sidetrack for a second. You see the Iroquois Indian here, North American Indian again, Iroquois. He's wearing a ceremonial garment, right? So I want you to. You see his ribbon of blue, across his chest. He has fringes that are going across his chest. Fringes. Zoom it in.
Zoom it in.
You can even see the top of the fringe. He has like blue gems on top. See the blue gems on top of the fringes? Yes. Now we're gonna scroll down to the bottom. Scroll down to the bottom. Slowly, slowly. Look at this garment here. Fringes at the bottom, right? Go down some more. What's at the bottom? Oh, he got bells hanging from his garment. What are the bells there for? Why does he have bells hanging from the garment? Why is that? Why does North American Indian have bells? Huh? Let's get that real quick about the bells. North American Indian tribe, there were certain groups that are aside from Mohawk, that played the role of lawgiver. Gad played the role of lawgiver. Mohawk was the most prominent one. But you had others, North American Indians, that played the role of lawgiver. That's why that figurine I have of those Sioux Indian woman, she had bells on her garment as well, and her daughter. Because Esau said, why is he wearing bells on the bottom of his garment? What is that for? This is in a display case of a depiction of what they wore. If you go down more, he's wearing pants. Go down some more, he's wearing pants, and he's wearing moccasins, he's wearing shoes. He got shoes on. Go back to the bells again. All right. Go back in 10 minutes.
Break it 10 minutes.
All right. So now, let's get on the bells. This is Exodus 28. Y'all know who it is. It's y'all time. I ain't. Go on.
Oh,
With the
praises to the
bell.
Most High. I knew this day would
quiet
come
right
someday.
28:33.
Yeah, get the bell. See?
Yep, he got it on deck.
From the top of his head. Let's get it. Why are they wearing bells? Why is North American Indian wearing bells on his garment, ribbon of blue and fringes on top? Why?
The book of Exodus, chapter 28, verse 33. And beneath upon the hem of it, thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about.
It's not the exact, because they weren't Levites, but they did model themselves after Levites, so it's not exactly the same. But they still had the bells hang from their garments, symbolizing that they maintained a level of priesthood on this side of the world, or lawgiving, or as lawgivers on this side of the world. That's why they had the bells on the garment. Not exactly, they weren't Levites. They're not going to sit there and desecrate the priesthood by wearing the exact thing as Levi, but they had bells nonetheless, signifying that they played the role of lawgiver or Mohawk on this side of the world, advising the people, collecting tithes of the people. That's why the last one to be conquered by the white man was the North American Indians. Gad was the last to be conquered, because they were the ones who maintained the law the longest, the commandments the longest, among all the others who went the hell off. But Gad maintained that righteousness, as I'm going to show you later on. I believe the Battle of Wounded Knee was it. You had Geronimo, North American Indian. You had the Battle at Wounded Knee. That was the last. That was it. They were done after that. That was a wrap. Okay, the massacre of Wounded Knee, I believe, the massacre of the Sioux Indians. That was horrible. But they maintained a certain level of holy righteousness or integrity, fighting against the white folks, because they would maintain the lawgiver spirit on this side of the world. They were the leaders of the people on this side of the world, which the other tribes began to attack and fight against along with the white man, being simple as hell. Now, the Cherokee, some of them did sell out. Some became civilized or sold out. But not all the tribes. Remember, guess it best is he who enlarged of Gad. Not all the Gadite tribe or North American Indians went off. Not all of them. All right? Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Deke, in 2nd Ezra 13, verse 42 clearly signifies exactly what they're doing right here. 2nd Ezra 13:42 says that they might there keep the statutes which they never kept in their own land.
Right.
Replicating what was happening before, the split.
Right.
And Deacon, also out of all the tribes, the Northern Kingdom tribes, you rarely ever hear of the other tribes being spoke about or being presented in a spiritual manner.
Right.
It's always Gad when you see the movies.
Right, the mysticism.
Yep. The mysticism is the Geronimo. It's always have to do something with ties to the Most High. They saying Yahweh, Yahweh,
Right.
Yahweh, Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
Or even like with the movies showing that Gad, they're the lost tribes of the nation of Israel.
Yep.
Geronimo, they show able to see visions, and by the visions, the Most High showed Geronimo where to go. To what it said, I remember the trainer said before Geronimo was taken out, it was like, "Yo, I seen a white horse coming against us," something like that. But Gad was always associated with the highest level of spirituality.
They were saying that he couldn't be killed. Geronimo could not be caught or killed. He was a special man. I believe they have his skull. They have his skull. They have his skull, and they have whose skull they have? Geronimo's skull, skull and bones. The Masons.
Yes,
they have
yes.
his skull.
George Bush.
And they have someone else. They have two different skulls because they felt that man was supernatural. They couldn't catch him. He could foresee things, foresee events. He was a special. Esau has his skull as like a memorial of him. You know, Esau's sick. All right? So let's get Isaiah 56 and 8. No, I don't want one. No, I don't want that. What the hell am I doing? Let's get Fire. I sent you the website. I sent you the website that I sent you of Firekeepers. Firekeepers, I believe. Hopefully we have time before the break. It's a website called Firekeeper. Captain Isaac did an interview with this brother a while back regarding his archaeological find keep going. Right there, that brother right there, yep. This is in Puerto Rico, all right? We're gonna deal with the Taínos now, real quick. Blow it up some. This is what he found. He found these artifacts with Hebrew writing on them. If you go to our website, I forgot which channel it's on, but Captain Isaac did an interview with this brother and his artifacts and what he found. All right, and the bishop went over it. These are called teraphims, all right? It's kind of like pictures, our own little photo album we had, we etched into rocks of our families and so forth. 800 ancient stones with Hebrew writing in Puerto Rico, authenticated, meaning they've been accepted, but it's being kept low key. Because at first they were discovered as false, as Esau always had to lie. Because once you find Hebrew artifacts in the Americas, that would tie Hebrews to this side of the world. So we're gonna say it's false, like everything else. It's a fact that's false with the oppressor. But this brother found these artifacts. Let's go down. Let's read it a little bit before the break. Let's try to read some.
Blow it up.
I'm gonna post the link of the website where Captain Isaac had a conversation with this brother, I believe. I think it's IOC Events. It's way back.
Right.
When he had a conversation with this brother. But let's continue.
A remnant of ancient stones, 20 of 800, made its way halfway across the world, solving a 3,500-year-old mystery. What did these stones whisper about the pre-Columbian indigenous people of the island of Puerto Rico?
See, the pre-Columbian indigenous people of the island of Puerto Rico. Go ahead.
After rigorous academic testing, anthropologists, historians, academics, and millions of Puerto Ricans finally have scientific evidence that revealed the language of the stones.
What languages are the stones? Go ahead. Of these ancient Puerto Ricans. Go ahead.
Growing up in the mountains of Borican, Puerto Rico, my grandfather told me about some very unique stones, which were part of our ancient Taino Indian history. These rare stones were in the care of one of our greatest principal chiefs, Cacique Aguabana.
Aguabana, the cacique means the chief. We read that numerous times in the books I brought to y'all about caciques, how their forefather is Jacob or Caciquel, same thing. Go ahead.
Who, when Columbus stumbled across our Taino people in 1492, was the principal chief of my home island of Borican. Knowledge of these stones first came to light when a very sick Taino woman, who had tried everything from indigenous herbal remedies to ceremonies, lay on her deathbed, compelled to tell a secret her family had carried for generations. She sent runners to find someone in the church who would listen. Why she chose the church, we will never know.
Because she got converted by Christianity. She thought she got converted. So she revealed something she shouldn't reveal. But the Most High had his plan. Go ahead.
But a monk named Jose Maria Nazaro y Cancel came to her bedside. What this elder revealed to this monk changed the historical narrative of our precious island. There, in her tiny bohio thatched roof home, the monk interceded for the old woman's healing. Then she told him her family's secret, a secret that went back to the time of Cacique Acobana, the principal chief of Borican, the Taino Indian name for Puerto Rico, which means the house of the great and valiant Lord.
Ah, the house of the great and valiant or brave Lord. That's what Borican means. Brave Lord, Hebrew word. It's a Hebrew word. The house of the great and valiant or brave lords or Lord. That's what it means. Continue. And Taino means it's a greeting. It's like shalom. It's like a greeting, like a shalom or P means peace. That's what Taino means. So when Columbus came to this side of the world and encountered me, they said Taino. This dumbass goes, oh, they're Tainos, and it's stuck. So that's like saying, if I come to your house and you go, hey, how you doing? They go, oh, these are how you doings. That's how these guys operate. It's simple as hell. We fall for it. How you doings or helloins.
The Shalomians.
Shalomians. The peace, yeah. Peace be with yous. Ins. Go ahead.
Her secret revealed where to find a hidden stash of stone figurines inscribed with strange symbols and carvings of an ancient people that some called the Haberos, who had lived in the mountains of the island and still have descendants who call themselves by this name to this day. Nazario had been educated at the University of Salamanca. His studies had included ancient languages, and he was amazed at what he saw.
This is who Captain Isaac spoke to. Go ahead.
After comparing the writings on these stones to others from around the world, he came to his conclusion. This writing was a form of ancient Hebrew.
So this changes the whole narrative of the inhabitants of the land and where they came from, because you simpletons will sit there and say they came from the Barren Strait, believing in a theory and a lie that that the real historians do not believe and cannot prove. So this brother got a hold of these stones. He got a few of them out of 800 of them. He got a few of them, and he found Hebrew inscriptions on them. Go ahead.
The writings was a form of ancient Hebrew. Because of his religious background, this fueled the possibility that a remnant of the lost tribes of Israel had settled on this island.
There you go. There you go.
That's right.
There you go. That proves that the people on this side of the world, Cacique Aguabana, wasn't Hebrew, were Israelites.
That's right.
All over the Americas. Israelites all over the Americas. So y'all can scoff and scorn if you like. We've met this man. We've spoken to him. Prior to it being these stones being authenticated, we spoke to him. And they're still giving him a hard time. Oh, well, they are authentic, but Esau does, but it's authentic. They're authentic. Go ahead.
In 1893, Nazario wrote a short article titled "The Escritura Aborigine de Carib," meaning
right.
Aboriginal writings of the Carib,
right,
in which he explained his interpretation of these carvings. After a thorough analysis of the stones and their inscriptions, he dismissed an Arawak Taino language origin, and by 1897, he concluded that the writings were more reminiscent of ancient Hebrew. Comparing his discovery with the spoken Taino language of his day, Nazario discerned words in the Taino Arawak language that were Semitic.
Wait, what? Whoa. The Arawak language is what again?
Semitic.
Oh, that means the Arawak language is Hebrew. They spoke Hebrew on this side of the world. See, I know y'all mad. Y'all angry. No, Negro, no. They're Asians. Well, Asians don't speak no freaking Aramaic. Hebrew here. They don't speak down this side. And they were not keeping the customs on this side in Asia over there. They weren't keeping them. Now, did the Moab and Ammon speak Hebrew before? Yeah, and initially. Ancient time, because that's their forefathers' lot. That's true. But these guys are keeping it. It's like, as I've been bringing out all throughout the parts of the video, of the show, I've been bringing out all over the island, these are Israelites. Continue.
Arawak language that were Semitic in origin and pronunciation. One example is the Taino name for the supreme spirit of spirits, Yaya.
See, the supreme spirit of spirits, they call him Yaya. Yaya, not like Kendrick Lamar, or him too. Yah. Same thing, Yaya. Go ahead.
By comparison, the god of the monotheistic Hebrew culture is known by the abbreviated form of his sacred name, Yah.
So they worship the same God as the Hebrews did. You called them Yah. Go ahead.
Modern day Taino people say that Cacique Agobana kept this collection of inscribed stones safeguarded on the island and then buried them.
Why did he keep them safeguarded? We'll find out why he kept them safeguarded. Watch this. Continue.
Fearing that the Spanish conquistadors might find them.
There you go. And do what with them? Destroy them. Because the Spaniards didn't want the world to know who they were. They had to try to erase their history, like they did ours. They try to erase Northern Kingdom history and Southern Kingdom history. This is what they do. And y'all fall for the lies. They're Asian. They come from the Bering Strait. They're Asian. Y'all fall for the lies. With the conquistadors, some of them had the understanding, if we let this come out, that these guys are Israelites, and we kill them and conquer them, that's wrong of us. Yep. We'll be seen as evil. So we must paint the narrative, manifest destiny. They're savages. They don't know any better. They're monkeys. They're cannibals. They're savage. We must civilize them. We must convert them. We must save them. But they were already civilized. They were already spiritual, and they weren't savage. Continue. After this, we're going to take a break after this. Go ahead.
They remained hidden in the earth for over 400 years.
They remained hidden in the earth over 400 years. Go ahead.
Until the dying of Taino elder, Juana Morales, told Nazaro about the stones and where to find them.
See that? So this sister, who unfortunately was converted to Christianity or Catholicism, she decided to unearth these things, these hidden artifacts that her great ancestor, Cacique, what's the name, Agabanya, passed on to her and her descendants. All right? So she is definitely a Taino native, undeniably so. All right? Is there more stuff on there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read the rest of that. We can wrap it up.
It was well known on the island that Juana Morales was the last descendant of Principal Chief Aguabana.
Okay, go ahead.
Her story is still told among the mountain people in the interior of the island who still identify as Habero, a word that in Taino means people of the mountains, but which bears a strange resemblance to the word Hebrews.
They call themselves Haberos. Habero is Hebrew. Habero is Hebrew or Eber. Or Ebos on this side of the world. Same name, same thing. People of the mountain, or mountain people, or hilltop people. Go ahead.
During the 19th and 20th century, Agobana's library had been exhibited to the public several times and examined by expert scholars of high reputation who speculated that the writing was a form of Hebrew.
See that? So you go down, brother right there has the stones, go down to him. He has the stones right here. Captain Isaac spoke to him, and he got a hold of the stones, and we had a deep conversation. He was still at the time trying to get the stones authenticated, and according to this website, they were. But you know, Esau's gonna lie and try to say they're not, and shroud it in mystery and blah blah blah. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. Stay with us. We got some more stuff for y'all, some more golden gems for y'all. So stay tuned. Oh, stay tuned. Look at the freaking monitor. Stay tuned, and just relax. We got some more for y'all. Shalom.
Mana.
Pay him back, pay him back, pay him back.
99.
Yo. They wanna hear something heavy to make their head bob. Seeing the Lord and it's coming, make their knees drop. Venom with snakes, they change the stakes. All that harm they done, open up the Lord's floodgates. They dropping dead at a phenomenal rate. Ain't no escape except the fate. Apologies be too late. Heathen, for goodness sake, repay them 10 times more. Vengeance will be the score. A punishment broke for. Blood spills on the floor, and it's up to the bridle. We been claiming the title. Our vengeance is homicidal. Finally the recital, and it's getting real tribal. Scriptures as subtitles while we were hunched from the Bible. Revenge tastes so sweet. They mad cause they so they birthright. For what muscles of meat. They messing with Christ sheep. Now we sing aloud upon our beds as they kiss our feet. And bake them quick and bleed down. For they hearts with terror so they go and hide beneath the ground. And break their bodies to shivers. To fight along of our black God. Don't make these nations wither.
The payback.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, y'all. The payback. Oh yeah. Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you. And listen, the payback. We even got about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all too. I said the payback.
Yo.
Ha! Hit me.
Headquarters flowed out. Goodbye, Uncle Tom, your mom, and your patriots. Cause your men have fell and lost safety nets. And for football fits cause forfeits. And more fits combined with raw hits. Edam's either a raider or he's a buccaneer. He even changed the shade of the faces of the musketeers. He just peddled the ghetto, playing puppeteer, pulling our strings with bluffs. Now we're stuck with queers. No boys allowed, NBA, but Nambler enjoys that crowd cause men be gay. The truth pierced Paul, who was a fierce soul. David was stern, I learned how he fears all. Mighty God, but not tighty whitey Bob, who's more than slightly trite. Everything in sight he robbed. With Spidey's might at odds, it's still his nightly job. He likes to ignite fights and incite the mob. Kingslayer, who even sleeps with his sister, results of illegitimate. Hear the peeps and whispers. Tangle webs he'd weave, so we'd wig out. Entanglements were bred since Eve cleaved to his mouth. They set it off in Nick's pursuit of happiness. Willa Smith swayed her quick, root the nastiness. Bomb swarm and harm blondes, they call Becky. Don't be alarmed, they wreck rednecks directly. The devil reveled from peddling several booby traps. We were hated, they baited Jacob with Scooby snacks. Jinkies think we won't pick up the clues, but think these links inked into structure cues. The right Shemite won't flick for quick mammon. So I ain't sick, wildin' out on Nick Cannon. Fake fraud K-Zars, y'all full of ish. Cause real Jews been hewed from a dark mix. Tell Archie his bunker will be getting blazed according to the edict, but those were the days. Combative adages, songs and swords drawn are performed on the rabid and savages Babylon. The unchaste daughter who sitteth upon lake shores. And many waters this broad is the great hall. Esau's the beast who eats raw. When the fleet gets released, he's least the seesaw. They roll die, snake eyes die, lake fried. They'll bake side and cry for their hate crimes. Bye.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. We ain't forgot about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all's too. I said the payback. Ha! Hit me.
God got my back, ain't no stopping me. We the judges of the earth. You a wanna be? Repented of my sins, now it's God in me. They gon' see the beams in my eyes, no hypocrisy. For all these damn years, I was your slave. You don't get no credit, but you gotta pay. Wanna bump your lips? I'ma cut them out. I'll put them in your hands. I make you watch your mouth. This is what you get for disintegrate. When disintegrate with your head, you disintegrate. Wicked Babylon make disintegrate. Christ invaded V4, miss a piece of cake.
Piece of cake need a taste of vengeance is sweet. You gon' be bitter and trying to be friends for peace. After I served you when you told me how to cook your meat. Next is a mouthful of blood from the raw beef. Castrate him, do him the same thing he did to me. I'm making you knock like when you lose your keys. What's your name, boy? Oh, you ain't trying to speak? Grip my rudder eye and then waste it away. See, the side he saw reminds him where he used to be. A carcass mountain made from his family tree. He trying to make me fall in sin with all that smooth talk. The only time I backslide is when I moonwalk. In the kingdom, no escaping if you break the law. I'm hitting up the fifth rib, no Isaiah 4. You sodomite kids, you trying to explain the queer? Not even transparent's gon' make it clear.
Me a go call me plantation damnation, cause I straight payback on this damnation. Most I declare the end from creation. In a the God of vision, me put me salvation.
I had dreams of pushing the Maybach. Big money, Cuban links and make stacks. I'm finding out my history from slavery and way back. So it's only right I give you the whips and chains back. No bail for a fugitive, word is bond. It's 2020, so it's clear to see the vagabond. Who's the real Jews? It's a face-off. Iconoclasm, take his face off. I ain't talking clothing line, but this right here, the true religion. Came from the chosen line, my mind is focused on a mission. I ain't never make a dime off the plantation field, but still generating profits in my Levi jeans. You gave me mad labor, I just do it like night. Worn out like all Adidas, I got scars from the stripes. You gotta pay with your life, I ain't showing no pardon. I'm here to collect debt, and it ain't no bargain.
Me a go call me plantation damnation, cause I straight payback on this damnation. Most I declare the end from creation. In a the God of vision, me put me salvation. Me a no hold for me two-head sword. Fi thinking you stand a chance, you two legs gone. Head crop on the floor like a few eggs fall. We are the real Jews, fool who are the bootleg farm. Cause when no time to feed them a go horrify. Them think them come feed, they make them soul of pride. You gonna eat your faces, they keep you alive. Try to kill himself because them food was on the suicide.
It's past 10:30, we in the fourth quarter. When it strike 12, time of your hands is getting shorter. Bruce Wayne can't save the day cause it's a dark night. No turning back the hands of time, I'm putting out your lights. We raising the bars like it's a workout. 5 G's hit the streets to push the work out. YouTube and Viacom trying to shut us out. Via communication, send the hitters out. ADL been getting busy with the tricks. Fake Jews operate the mouth of the dragon. Thought you heard us, but that was a little nick. Many bodies getting hit when I fire this cannon. I leaped in a battle, that was my longest jump. I came to pull cards, I'm ready to dump. I am honored a victory over bodies slumped. Somebody tell Donald that I'm the real Trump.
Me a go call me plantation damnation, cause I straight payback on this damnation. Most I declare the end from creation. In a the God of vision, me put me salvation.
yeah. Divine dialect, IUIC. It's the payback. Hey yo, a lot of stains on our name throughout the time that passed, but not a lot of grains left in that hourglass. We used to rock fellas, hit dames then dash. Now through the rock we built a nation, waiting on Jehovah's wrath. Reporting live from the 5 boroughs. We gon' burn them bogeys. This ain't a Newport or Marlboro. In our youth they called us nicotine when they the cancer, but they dead. I don't talk to them, ain't no necromancer. Like A-Rod, them Yankees are basemen. No cap, them Yankees gon' say why in the end. Yeah, it's been a while since we seen Jerusalem. We miss our mother. Them nations jumped us, we coming back with our big brother. That'll more than even the odds. They try to bombard us with fraud, but in this spiritual war, you grip a sword and draw. To spiritually put a hole in one of them birdies. We treat the eagle like a bogey when we up the paw. Yeah.
The payback.
Swag like Solomon with 12, you can see the picture. Victor, it's all rad when you read the scriptures. Edom, we cause the L, and death we bring. Like Yahushua, my line from the second king. Warfare in Liberty City or Gotham. Dudes never read in the hood, so they robbing. Police shooting bullets at brothers. Elite marksmen, no love. We Philly shells, Bernard Hopkins. I'm a black prophet sent from God. I'm the medium. If I was Edom and knew my fate, I'd do me in. In this white world, the black man's inaudible. No Russian vengeance, but I'm Roman in the oracle. Redemption, the second exodus with war cries. From the Red Sea, we crossed over Jordan like AI. On the corner selling mustard, live and direct. Or you can get the sword out online on your IP address. This black man getting vengeance on Edom, it's a miracle. Whipping on their back is revenge at its pinnacle. In China, we can see the chinks in your armor. You've been cooking bats in Japan and ate dogs from the collar. But when my body changed, I have more abs than your name, for I'm in God's body. My lot is highly acclaimed. These nations be talking ish. Malice in their doctrine, either get down or lay down. For Israel is the only option. But we wrestle with the devil like Naphtali's meaning. Like when the devil fought for Moses' body, we steady scheming. Like a movie scene, I saw 12 teams with angelic beams. Killed Edom and blood splattered all over the screen. And they got beamed inside a chariot and saw Edomite scream. For this is not deja vu, for I lived through this dream. Israel.
Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback.
I spit in the face who those who made us slaves. And in the face of heathen loving jakes, the sky crack, earth crumble and quake. You can run, but surely ain't no hiding up under your bed, begging the rocks to fall upon them, cause they rather be dead. Everything you deserve, you really gon' get. Feel me? That's that payback from way back. That righteous recompense is the take back of every single sin. I'm over here dripping in my tribe vibe. The 12, those are my guys. Unbelievable like sci-fis. And we're scattered all across the world, but still connected like the Wi-Fi. The more the merrier, in the melting pot, so he can raise the temperature. Very hot, killing the horse, the rider, and burning up the chariot, breaking apart Judas Iscariot. Y'all might call me harsh, but I'm playing my part, the messenger. We're fishing now, in the twinkling of an eye. We're turning to the predator, hunting the damn, hiding in no bunkers underground. I love how that sounds.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. We ain't forgot about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all's too. I said the payback. Ha, hit me.
Where you going? You can't hide. Let's get him. From afar, you gonna hear bones cracking. Won't stop, I'ma beat him to the bone marrow. Do him dirty real bad, talking toe tag him. Then raise him from the dead, then dap up Lazarus. This what these heathens get in their life after. Throw their babies in the lake without the life jacket. Divide the father from the mother, how you make a fraction. No more hole than you have, son become a bastard. Talk tough and get smoked, damn I hate cancer. Babylon burn forever, that's the great anthem. Get your ass back to work, no more rhyme phantoms. Just another ghost dead, he just made example. 1,000 years Esau ruled, then he died after. Christ return, we gon' rule Israel everlasting. You bastard! Come on,
You wanna rumble with the kings, huh? Become a distant memory, huh? Taken by force, yank them up off of they high horses. Bonfire to their corpses, payback like scripture recorded. Watching all your heritage get laid to waste. All your family is handmaids and slaves. By the real Jews, the one and the two like noon, and it's coming soon. Shake them down, make them common, turn them into bombing. Cause judgment make the world go round one only. So you can save all your apologies, you base phonies. Lesions on your face till it's nice and doughy. Savior's about to throw down. Far too long we played it safe, that's facts. Gloves is off in that day. It's the payback.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. We ain't forgot about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all's too. I said the payback. Ha, hit me.
Look, I'm James Brown when I get down. Better yet, Christ, I'm light out of the Lord's mouth. The battle axe mixed with the hammer, bringing the sword out. You under spell, man. We trying to show you the Morehouse. Captives half a millennium. No wonder why we fighting like Gideon mixed with Simeon. The enemies we hinder them. Jesus to reconciling them. If you don't think we killing them, gotta be in delirium. We was traded to the Arabs, Ishmael, but I call them male-ish, cause they trash. They had us wearing they rags, they religion and they land. Worshipping the lie, but the truth they came and they mad. The business with the Hamite, dirty African spots. Ham stringing us along like calves and baby ox. Ham set us up quick, Ham led us to grave plots. When the hammer break in pieces, watch Ham get ham hot. Look, in the belly of the beast, and since here our sincere mentality increased. They killed all of our brothers from the greatest to the least. So who the hell is gonna pay for this blood in the street? We don't want peace, we want you deceased. It's the payback.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. We ain't said the payback. Ha, hit me.
Listen, roll call heaters, we finna troll y'all. Call it group therapy, 10144 scold y'all. Payback for Richard Nixon and his war on drugs. Making wine out of Edomites is how we show love. That's Christ-like, scriptures cutting like knife fights. Ishmael and Ham catching fades for that slave trade. It took our kindness for sweetness cause Christ made us fishes. The princes of power, we ain't ordinary niggas. They made human leather out of Nat Turner skin. Throw them in the lake of fire, bonfire, burning them. More fire like I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. You dumb enough to kill a prophet, stupid, face the consequence. While y'all melting, we stealth through the clouds and the cloud. The children from the west, man, that day gonna be wild. Them bombs gonna drop and Christ gon' flex. Hot like 97, bringing brimstone to your neck. His sword in your flesh colliding like wrecks. Twins beat a Moabite, then he on to the next. To you other nations, you misleading God's people. Whooping sheep's clothing, I can see you through the peephole. It's called the Bible, cause when you read it, it's a peep show. It's clearer than how the world unfolds, the days of old. All upon us today, exactly why the Messiah said to watch and pray. You take it for play, your spirit's baked like a souffle. Metaphoric marathon, I can go all day. I spit fire, you can't match this. Cause my saliva is gasoline and my tongue is a matchstick. It won't burn out, wide version with the oil. Jerusalem where I'm from, and I'm loyal to the soil. We want payback.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. We ain't forgot about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all's too. I said the payback. Ha! Hit me. Ah!
We're back. Welcome back to Our Hidden History Radio. Our Hidden History Radio.
Radio.
We don't use that. That's not us. That's
History.
That sounds really bad. That sounds really bad.
Yo.
Oh, man.
I don't know what that was. Don't ever do that again.
Wait, can we come up with something though?
We will, yeah. We
Yeah,
will.
you gotta
but
clean that up, man.
That was
All right,
bad.
Hey, let's do it one more time.
Deacon Malachi's gonna
One more time.
sue you,
Let's do it one more time, Deacon. Introduction.
Welcome back to Our Hidden History Radio.
Hidden history.
Yo, you really transgressed this now.
Oh man, I had nothing to do with it.
I don't know how to adjust that. I'm sorry, viewers. That was worse.
All praises.
We always advise our brothers in the show not to drink before the show. I think that rule's being broken secretly.
Yeah, I just wanted off the last part we read. I don't know, man, why people would want to take their time out of their short lives to go against the truth. The scripture says, in no wise speak against this truth. And from the Bible to evidence these books that we were forbidden to read, now we read them, as everything is coming together. So it only tells us one thing. I just want to bring out one scripture, Luke 8:10. Luke 8:10. So that's how you people that are listening, you got to kind of put your own thoughts away for a minute and see who's bringing out the mysteries of the Most High. Not everybody can do that. You know, me personally, I only knew IUIC coming into this truth. I just stuck with it because what was said, the discipline, everything that's there is right. You know, you got to stop fighting with yourself. Read that scripture real quick.
The book of Luke, chapter 8, verse 10. And he said, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of God. But to others in parables, that seeing they might not see, and hearing they might not understand.
You see, then that's the only unfortunate thing about all of this. All this evidence, all this fact is coming out, some of you will still not understand. But those that God chose to understand will understand that here you got leaders, you got men of understanding that God is working with to bring out this truth. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. All right, D? That's it.
All right, so give me Luke 21:15. Luke 21:15. All right, Luke 21:15.
The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 15.
Yeah, I want to read that because this is why we have scoffers that can't stop. They can't seem to stop watching the show. They can't seem to stop scorning, stop scoffing. This is why I read this.
For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
The part we want to deal with is resist. They can't help themselves. They have to watch. They can't. These guys, you guys are liars. It's wrong. On Esau, Esau, when he's mad, he's angry, you know what he does? He laugh. That's the Esau that he laugh. You guys are. That's the Esau. That's how you Europeans do. You laugh. That's your way of trying to pretend that you're kind and gentle by smiling things off, even when you're upset and angry, to keep up the persona that you guys are friendly, even though your history says otherwise. But you put up the persona of laughing and joking and scoffing and making sly comments. But you continue to watch the show. You continue to be on the live chat. I know on the live feed right now, people in their mouth. Stop debating these people. They're idiots.
Yep.
Stop debating them. They cannot gainsay what we're saying, and they can't resist watching, and they can't resist learning. They have to watch and learn. And take notes. So all you can do is just take notes and be quiet. It is what it is. Now, let's get some more images. Last time on the show, I was trying to find something. Give me the Black Germany website. I mentioned about Charles V, and I mentioned Atahualpa, the Inca who was burned at the stake. I showed him if he had fringes on, and ribbon of blue being burned at the stake, if y'all recall. Pay attention to that. I'm gonna show y'all how he. I wanted an image of how he looked, and I showed y'all one, but I didn't like it. This is the better one. This is a picture of Charles V right here. Make it big if you can. Make it bigger, please. Let's fill the screen up with it. Fill it up. This is Carlos Quinto, or Charles V. He was a Holy Roman Emperor. Now, we always tell y'all that the Israelites took over Rome. At the Septimius Severus, thank you. At the Septimius Severus, black rulers took over Rome and it became known as the Holy Roman Empire or the Byzantine Empire, or Byzantium. So you had a king by the name of King Charlemagne. Okay, King Charlemagne. They call him the father of Europe or something like that. Charlemagne. The word Char means Charles, La means the, Main means great. Charles the Great. And so this guy, Carlos V, or Charles V, is his descendant down the line. Okay? So now Charlemagne was undeniably a black man. All right? But I'm going to prove it to y'all that his descendant here, Charles V, who became a ruler over the Americas, okay? Because he took over part of Spain, whatever. He was a black ruler of the Americas at some point. So real quick, you see a picture of him right here? It's clearly a white dude, right? I said that his forefather was black. It's a white guy here. Let's go down some. Here he goes again, sitting in his chair, looking white again. Let's go down some. Here he goes again, looking white. Statue of him, a bust of him looking white again. Now look here, it says the Inca list. This is a painting. Now go down to the bottom of the painting. I want that what it says. Go down. Right there, blow it up, right there, the words there. I'm gonna show you a few images before we go to the scriptures. Go down. What's that say? Read that. Who's gonna read for me?
I got it, sir.
Yeah.
Painting in the Larco Museum in Lima, Peru.
So this is a painting in Peru. In the what museum?
The Larco Museum.
Larco Museum in Peru. It's a painting. Watch this.
This painting depicts the Inca emperors and the subsequent European emperors of the Inca.
Right, that took over the Inca. Go ahead.
It begins with Manco Capac, the legendary first Sapa Inca, top left side.
So he's the first. So the top left, you're gonna see. This is his name again?
Sapa
Capac.
Sapa Manco. That's the first. So the guy on your left, you're gonna see in the painting. He's the first of the Inca chiefs, leaders. Go ahead.
And his sister, Mama Huaco.
And Mama Huaco's on the right. His sister's on the right. Go ahead.
This painting also depicts Holy Roman emperors, Charles V.
Or Carlos Quinto. Okay, keep that in mind. Go ahead.
As the first European emperor of the Inca. The rest were Spanish kings.
The rest when Esau took over. Now, go up to the painting now. Blow it up so we can all see it. Fill the screen up with it. So the screen fills it out. Yeah, all I want is to, yep. So look to you, as you see to your left, they're mad black. You got to bring it in more because they're mad dark on the left. They're mad dark. As far as you can go?
Yeah.
Okay, you see to your left? That's the king chief. You see how brown they are? You can see they're brown. On the left, that's the first Inca chief there. And they got, I believe they have Christ in the middle. And you on the right, you see a sister on the right with the dress on, looking beautiful and majestic, fully dressed. She ain't naked, titties out. They ain't out. She's dressed fully.
She dark too.
Dark as hell. These are their family members. These are his descendants here that came out. Their sons and his sons down the line. As you look here, as their names. Okay? Now go down. That's the chief right there. Now stop. The second row, you see they got the crown? That's Charles V.
Wow.
Holy Roman Emperor. Charles V. He look white to you? He's the same color as the rest of the Incas. On his left is Atahualpa, the one that was burnt at the stake. Okay? Because the Holy Roman Empire had taken over part of Spain at a certain point in time. But of course, go down. We begin to intermarry with the other nations, with Edom. So you see on the bottom, the new Spanish rulers. See in the bottom? To your left, you go over, there's all white folk. Go down again, more white folk. We go to the top again, go to the top. Nope, not the top. I mean, we're Charles V, the crown, with the crown on. Charles V, right there. Okay, Holy Roman Emperor, the descendant of Charlemagne. He had ruled or took over part of Spain, of the Americas. All right, I'm not saying he's holy and righteous. I'm just saying that he was a brown man. He may have been a tear. I don't know, but he was brown. He's not the same depiction you saw earlier, a white dude sitting in a chair. That's not how he looked. That's how he looked right there. Okay, that's how he looked right there. Okay? So now, let's get some more images. Give me what I sent you now, some more images about some Native American people regarding the features in the group me. I got that's old, not that one. Next one. I'll get that. Okay, let me see that one. Blow it up some. That's in the museum. We took a picture of that at the museum. We went to the museum and took a picture. Look at that jacket.
Yeah, that jacket's bad.
It's bad. Ribbon of blue and fringes all over. Ribbon of blue and fringes all over the jacket.
I want that.
That's in the museum That's in the museum we went to. We took a picture of that. All right, go to the next one. Next image.
Ideas for the LM collection.
Yeah, man, ideas for the collection.
Yo, you got me for the winter, man?
This is in a Native American museum. Blow it up. Go to the old lady first. Go to her first. Move the girl out the way. Now look at her face. Oh, no, she's a gook. That's an Asian. She's an Asian. Go to her granddaughter, please. Go down to her granddaughter. That's her granddaughter. That's the Native American woman. That's a beautiful sister. That's not no freaking heathen, you simpletons. Look at her. Oh, look at her grandmother.
Yeah, my grandmother looked like her. I think she was Inca.
Right. Look at her grandmother. She's her old, and that's her granddaughter.
Wow.
See all this nonsense about us? No. Look at her hair. Does that look woolly to you? No, it's fine.
Kind of does look a little bit like Levi.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be.
You know she has Levi. Well, yeah, Levi woman, yes.
Yeah, a little bit. Right?
Yeah, but this is a Gadite woman. This is a Native American woman.
Yep.
And her grandmother.
Beautiful.
All right, beautiful people. Now,
Look how he's dressed. Too.
And I'm pretty sure she's mad. Oh, they take a long time to pass on. They died 125. The most time you have mercy on their lives, man. They be living for that long.
Hey, D, grandma looked better than Esau in their 30s.
Yeah, she probably 100.
Yeah.
That's
still look better
that's
than
Esau at 25.
hey, you see Mary Kay and Ashley, look how they look.
Yeah, Austin twins look like that.
Oh, my God.
That's how they look at 35.
Go to the next one, next image. This is the Native American Museum. Those are shoes he wore. Go to the pants. Zoom in on the pants. He wore pants, by the way.
Damn.
What's on the bottom of the pants? Ribbon of blue and fringes on the bottom, on the border of the pants.
That's right.
On the border of the pants. We ain't play games.
Damn.
We ain't play games on this side of the world.
Officer LaQuat.
That's right.
All right?
Winter gear.
Come on, let's go next. Go next. That's her brother and his wife, Native American woman. Of course, and they have kids, different features, of course. Mm-hmm. Go down to who they are. Let's go down. Right there. No, go back. Right there. What it says Chickasaw Creek and Seminole to Oklahoma. With them on what became known as the Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears was something that Andrew Jackson led the Indian Removal Act around the 1800s, and he basically removed Native Americans from one place to Oklahoma. All right, had them walk thousands upon thousands of miles. Some of them dropped dead on the way there. It was craziness. But let's see who was involved in that Trail of Tears. Was it just Native Americans? Read what it says. Read what it says there.
Frontier, Chickasaw, Creek, and Seminole to Oklahoma.
That's what they were sent to. Watch this.
With them on what became known as the Trail of Tears went the people they held as slaves.
Watch this.
Who were of African American and African Native American ancestry.
You see? Slaves. Native American slaves. Native American slaves. Negro slaves. Y'all ever taught? Listen. Next image. I'm not even going to say anything, man. What can you say after that? What can you say after that? Nothing. What else we got? Yeah, Jess.
You know, also it was heavy about the clothing, and a lot of Esau tried to paint us as savages, like we were naked.
Right.
Show us with like a loincloth or something.
That was after.
Right.
They
After stripped us of our clothes.
We had jewelry and gems and diamonds and stuff all embroidered in our clothes, gold. They stripped us. Same way they stripped us over here in Africa, they stripped us over here also. Then they stole our style. The cowboys started wearing that stuff.
Right.
Yep. They stole that style from us. That was our style. What you got right there? What's this?
This is a Cherokee Indian
Blow it
of
up.
the Carolinas.
Blow it up. Carolina Cherokee Indian? Yeah, he looks real Asian. He looks real Asian, right?
So Cherokee tribes in the Carolinas were reclassified as Negro and other slaves.
Ah, they were what?
Cherokee tribes in the Carolinas were reclassified as Negro.
I showed y'all that episodes ago about how they called Native Americans niggas. Y'all remember that? Go ahead.
And other slaves.
And other slaves. Other slaves. Cherokee tribes in the Carolinas were classified as Negro and other slaves. Go ahead.
This picture is over 100+ years. It shows how the Carolina Cherokee looked.
See the space again. Go to space.
Bring it out.
Go back in. Go back in. Go into space.
Wow.
Yeah, he's real Asian, you dumbasses. Go to the next image. Real gook. He's a gook. He's a gook. What else we got? What else I got? That's all we got for y'all? That's all we got? Yeah, give me the image that Laquat posted of us going to war with them. Fighting against Esau on this side of the world. Blow it up. I don't want the page. All I want is the image. All I want the picture. Move it over some. Now look to your, go to the right first. Zoom it in, go to the right first. Go to Esau's side first. I like that part. That's them being killed. I like that. So that's them us going to war with them, right? See them on this side on the horse, Esau, the guns and all of that.
And they're the cowboys. You see their attire back then.
Right. You
their attire didn't resemble ours.
Right. You see how we're dressed and how they're dressed?
Mm-hmm.
So now go to your left. That's us going to war. Now go to your left. See what he's wearing? Look at this. Look at his pants. See, it's the same thing we saw earlier. What they wearing, depiction, what they're wearing. Fringed up pants. Now go over. Watch this. Go over.
Look at the horse, Deke. Look at
the
the horse.
Look at the horse's dressed. Even
the horse got the fringes.
Horse got fringes on. Watch. There it goes. Yeah, there it goes. Yep. Fringes
ribbon of blue and, on the horse.
And fringes on the horse. And him too, matching his horse. Yep. They're all matching each other. Going to war.
Full of the spirit of the Lord.
Right, going to war fringed out.
Yep.
Wow, the horse.
But the horse got fringes on.
That's
and
crazy.
ribbon of blue.
And ribbon of blue on the horse.
Yep.
Y'all keep playing with us, man.
And look at that little thing that's in the horse. I don't know what you call it. Little neck and the neck.
Bridle.
Little with the feathers. Little decoration.
Right,
like
a
pendant.
Like a pendant, yeah.
Yeah, pendant on the horse.
The horse was
horse
royal.
is decked out.
Yeah.
Royalty with the horse.
I was probably the chief right there. So we're going to war.
So
that's Gad going to war.
So Dick, so these, especially like we mentioned before, these sisters running their mouth, they don't have the spirit of understanding. So this picture right here actually shows that our horses look better than you big mouth sisters.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? The horse decked out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? See, you wear the horse's hair. That's what they do. They like wearing horse hair. The horse hair is natural. With fringes and a ribbon of blue.
Yeah.
Femen bushu. Y'all gonna learn this Creole word. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
See wisdom coming out.
Give me your YouTube video.
Let's bring it back to English.
YouTube video.
Levi show.
Oh, man. The YouTube video, Native American ambassadors to Israel. We're going to watch it to 4 minutes and 15 seconds. From beginning to 4 minutes. Yep. You're going to stop at 4:15.
Today on Israel Hayom Insider, people lived in the Americas for around 17,000 years before Columbus arrived in 1492. But evidence suggests that there were earlier contacts with the Vikings, perhaps the Chinese, and maybe even the ancient Hebrews. In this episode of Israel Hayom Insider, we look at the surprising and still evolving relationship between Native Americans and the Jewish people. With me in the studio, Chief Joseph Riverwind, the acting principal chief, and Laralyn Riverwind, the tribal spokesperson of the Northern Arawak Taino tribal nation.
Pause it. Northern Arawak and Taino. We read there earlier about the stones that are found over there. This guy's a Cherokee native as well. Y'all up there, oh, dude, they're not real natives. Look at their skin. They're light skinned. They can't be Native Americans because you guys are retarded. You guys are that's how I make fun of you like that. You sound retarded. As if Israel's not going to have different features. Israel mingled with the nations on this side of the world. This guy's father is native. Her father is native. Pure natives living on reservations. And if you research, I did a class, when you research, a lot of us, what ended up happening was Esau, when they started to try to institutionalize us, they placed us in white schools. Carlisle Institute was one, Hampton University was another, and you had white students there. Many Native American boys were having sex with the white girls, and they were keeping it secret. And a lot of the black boys are having sex with the Native American girls or white girls, like it happens in school today. So you had a lot of mixing going on. So it's not an instance where the white man's penis is so mighty and so fierce, he ran around screwing all Native Americans, and they all look white people. Y'all retarded. White folks cannot produce at all any more than we can. In fact, their race is depleting. They're a race, they're a dying race, in fact. They have to be paid. There's certain parts of Europe where they're paid to bring forth children. I did a video way back showing how they were saying the Western man is dying. That was about 3 years ago, where they're saying like people of Spain, Greece, I think Russia, they're having less and less, they're producing less and less children. It's not the women's fault, it's the men. So where's this super white penis come from? I don't know. White supremacy. White man ran around just banging all the black girls. He ran around banging all the Native American women. Y'all crazy. Israel got it on. Israel got it popping. Israel was messing around with all different nations. The men mess around with the white girls also, but the white man portrays this woman as pure, innocent. She don't mess with nobody. Lies. Go to college. You go to them college campuses, you see how pure them white girls are over there. So y'all keep playing if y'all want to, but understand that our people are going to vary in features. We are initially were a black and brown people. I cannot deny that. But as time went on, Israel began to scatter themselves abroad, intermingle, integrate with Europeans and so forth. You're going to have features, light skin and so forth, and fine hair. It's like beating a dead horse. It's the same thing I'm saying over and over again. So let's continue. Go ahead.
Today.
Good. Thank you for having us here.
I want you to start in. Tell me a little bit about your background. You've got a really interesting.
No, I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna show y'all. Just the bishop's been going over a lot of history about the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. I'm gonna show y'all how this interview ties all that in together. How heavy it is. Watch. Go ahead.
A background combining Jewish and Native American traditions.
Absolutely. Wakebaba Ture Toka, Guamikeni. Daka Mahura, Waribo, Cacique, Jaguar.
Okay, how about in English?
Okay. That's a traditional way of beginning the conversation. My name is Chief Joseph of the Arawak Taino Nation.
That's what he said in his language.
And I also have Sephardic Jewish heritage as well.
Pause. So he says he has Sephardic Jewish heritage as well. That most likely will be his mother. Because remember, they claim by so-called say their mother is, you are what your mother is. Right. So that's probably the reason why he's light as he is. Now, I want you to pay attention to what he says regarding Sephardics. He's going to tell you how well, he doesn't know, but how the Sephardics and Native Americans' history tied together. Watch what he says. Watch.
Okay.
And my people, I'm descended from the Cherokee, the Eastern Band, and my father's side was Bird Clan.
Pause.
From
Father's side. So her mother's side could be something else. Father's side. So natives, we did lay with the white women. We did. So all that stuff about no light skin. Stop it. Continue.
Snake Mountain, and
Where is that?
That's on the Cherokee Reservation. It's not actually a reservation; it's Qualla Boundary, Cherokee, North Carolina. And
That's him blowing the horn. Pause. He's blowing the shofar. That's him with no beard blowing the shofar. And that's them walking around in their ceremonial garment, I guess their party garment or whatever. Go ahead.
Okie Creek heritage, and my fire sits at Wissabolga, is what we would say.
And as you were exploring your ancestry and your customs and traditions, I think you found some interesting commonalities between Jewish and Native American customs. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned Christopher Columbus. He didn't discover anything. My tribe was the one who discovered him wandering lost in the ocean.
Right.
And 1492 is when the Sephardic Jews were kicked out of Spain. Interestingly enough, it was the 9th of Av when Columbus left, and on the 9th of Av he sighted our land. So a lot of the Latin, Spanish-conquered countries have a large population of Sephardic and Native American mixtures there.
Pause. You know why? Because we fled over here during the Inquisition. The Jews or Latinos fled over here and lived among the Native Americans because they were the same people and dwelt here. Okay, and over time, eventually, were enslaved together over here too. That's why he's saying that the Sephardic history he has. Now, I'm not sure if his mother is Sephardic as in the white or the Sephardic as in the original ancient Sephardics, which are us that fled from the Inquisition of Spain. Because Sephardic means Spain. Sepharad is Spain. So he's telling you that the Jews during the Inquisition, when Columbus arrived over here, that was the same time they were expelling us. And many of them fled over here. I'm trying to keep their customs on this side of the world. I'm going to go more into that later on in the series about how we fled over here and begin to mingle among the populations over in this side of the world. And how they established they had a Brazilian Inquisition and they had a Mexican Inquisition to fight against us keeping our laws on this side of the world. While we were intermingling with our brothers and sisters on this side of the world. So he's telling you that his culture ties into both Hebrews on his father's side and mother's side. Now, if his mother is the so-called, it's not referring to her. But the original Sephardic Jews were our people. All right? Continue.
As we started studying
and maintain the same customs. Judaism. Continue.
A lot of our traditions. Now, this isn't all tribes. We don't speak for every tribal nation, but we found similarities in our linguistics. We have Hebrew words in our language, celebrations of new moon festivals.
My people have many things in common as far as the traditions and sacred things concerning, for example, there was a celebration of new moon. There was a 7th day of rest. We didn't eat swine. There were cities of refuge. We celebrated 7 sacred feasts during the year. And so there were many commonalities that we found seemed very similar. And this is chronicled by a man in the 1700s named James Adair. You can read about it in a book called Out of the Flame.
Pause. We use that book. James Adair all the time. We use that book all the time by James Adair, Native American Indians by James Adair. He spent, I think, a few years with Native Americans. He sat with them, watched their customs, observed them for many, many years. He wrote an amazing book about them. And she's mentioning it here. And the similarities of Jew. Now, this guy, this is a Jewish news or program, whatever, right? Program. So they explain to a Jewish person the similarities between Native Americans and Jews, or Jewish people, even though they're the same people. Well, the real Jews are the same people. Go ahead.
A man by the name of Rabbi Manasseh ben Israel, back in about 200-300 years ago, who also believed that there was a connection between the scattering of the tribes and the First Nations people.
Pause. Manasseh ben Israel, we read that book also. Manasseh ben Israel spoke about the connection between the Native Americans, or first people to this side of the world, and the Jews. Same thing. Same exact thing. We read that book as well. If you didn't read it, I will bring it out eventually. Okay? Continue.
Be that when the 10 lost tribes were scattered, some of them ended up coming to America? Is that the idea?
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Like I said, there's so many things in the traditions, the customs, the spirituality that just go beyond coincidence.
For example, my people's traditional name, the Cherokee's traditional name for ourselves is Anikatuaya, which means the principal people of Yah.
And the Cheyenne tribe.
Yeah.
The principal people of God.
But, the only thing, I'm just a little disappointed in them. They're keeping the culture and they're bringing out the understanding of similarities, but they are not confident. Mm-hmm. They're saying, yeah, potentially, possibly. Mm-hmm. No, it's a fact that you were on the side of this earth.
Right.
So they're not really standing up for that fact.
Right.
They're still being cautious with it.
Right.
Who
they're talking to? Fear.
Yep.
So I'll get rewind it again? Rewind a little bit again to what you called them again, the Cherokee name, the original Cherokee name.
The Cherokee's traditional name for ourselves is Anikatuaya, which means the principal people of Yah.
And the Cheyenne tribe in the Americas called themselves Tzitzitza, which means people of the fringes.
Boom. Really? Pause.
Thank you.
The people of the fringes.
Damn.
Tzitzitstas, they called themselves. The Shushan, the Cheyenne tribe, called themselves. Go back again to that. Anikatuaya, principal people of God, and the Tzitzitstas, people of the fringes.
Traditional name, the Cherokee's traditional name for ourselves is Anikatuaya, which means the principal people of Yah.
And the Cheyenne tribe in the Americas called themselves Tzitzitza, which means people of the fringes.
Really?
And their cousin tribes, the Shoshone, whose symbol is a rose, we find Shoshana, which is a rose.
Pause. The Shoshone Indians, they're Susanna Indians. It means rose. Hebrew name. Susanna means rose. Their symbol is a bull or ox in the middle and two roses on the side. That's their emblem. The Shoshan or Shushan tribe is Susanna tribe. Rose tribe. So y'all, listen, you gotta do your research. Don't sit there and call these guys Asians and all that unless you got your facts straight. If you don't, just be quiet. You shut the hell up and be quiet, man. You don't know nothing.
Right.
Where we at? Go ahead. We're going to start at 15. Go ahead.
With you, some traditional instruments. I hope you'll be able to sing for us.
Sing, Negro, sing.
Video. You guys, I know, are.
They always got to go back.
Go back to and say, okay, go back to entertaining us.
Listen, too much facts. Just sing a song.
Sing a song.
You guys are saying too much. Just sing a song for us.
Yeah, just sing, please.
Hey, beat on that thing you got in front
That's
of you.
the real reason I brought y'all on the show.
Yeah, I want you to sing. I don't want anything else. Just sing.
Psalms 137.
Yep. Go back to that side again about the stones. Go back there again to the site with the stones. Yeah, you're Hebrews. Right. Can you sing that song, please? Just sing for us. Entertain us, please. We don't really care about that other stuff you're saying.
My listeners are starting to believe you.
Yeah, just sing. Go down. Rodriguez University. Go down. There's some of the stories of history. We written include. Let me see. Go down. I'm trying to get to the next article. Is that the last of it? Okay, yeah, start right here. Whatever.
That's a later on blooper.
Oh, gosh. Go ahead. Who's going to read for me?
I got it.
Go ahead.
That's what the old ones say. Pre-colonial revelations of God to Native America. A revealing book of intriguing stories told by elders from different First Nation tribes about the Creator, His Son, Native end times prophecies, Revelation, and more. Many of these traditional stories have been told for generations at ceremonial grounds, stomp arbors, powwow grounds, and private family gatherings, tucked away deep on tribal lands. I was honored and humbled to be able to sit and learn these old stories from elders hailing from many First Nation tribes.
Right, go ahead.
Comanche, the Dine, Apache, the Anishinaabe, Aztec, Cherokee, Creek, Cheyenne, Lakota, and Mohawk.
Go ahead.
Are a few of the tribes whose elders share their beautiful stories with me.
Regarding biblical prophecies, native prophecies, revelations of the Father and His Son. Go ahead.
I listened eagerly to these accounts that were passed down from generation to generation, while understanding filled my spirit, and I was just asked to pass these stories along to the next generation. These are stories that were told before missionary contact, and I realized with each story that I listened to, I had heard them before. Not from my tribe, but from another ancient tribe who has left an impacting legacy on the earth called the Bible.
There you go. The ancient tribe who has left an impacting legacy on the earth called the Bible. Read on.
The Creator planted the seed in my heart to write this book as a way to help build the bridge of reconciliation between the nations. You might laugh, cry, sing for joy, or wail from the deepest parts of your soul. Betrayal, love, reconciliation, unity, sacrifice, joy, longing for Creator to heal our land and broken hearts. A longing for our spirit to be uplifted from the only one who can give us hope in the face of utter defeat and despair.
Come on.
I was humbled being entrusted with hearing these stories and was given permission to retell them so they can be shared with the world. Senecal Kakona, many blessings. Chief Joseph Riverwind.
Right, that's the same guy we saw. Go down. That's the same guy we saw sitting down. That's the same guy we saw that was sitting down at the table with his wife. That's him there. That's what he's talking about. So he's saying he spoke to many of his elders of different tribes, that powwows and so forth, Aztec elders, Mohawk elders, all saying the same thing, giving oral testimony of prophecies, revelations, all relating them back to what? The Bible. Back to the Bible. All those tribes, Creek, Aztec, Mohawk, Cherokee, Seminole, all the same. So he know he a Jew. He know he Israel. He said his mom's side is Sephardic. She might be a so-called, Edomite, or not, who knows? But the bottom line is that he knows that paternally, his father's side, they're natives. And that the history of natives and Jews is the same. They're the same people, as well as his wife. They know that as well. You got some more there?
He also traces his lineage to the Benai.
Yeah, read that. That's it. Read that.
Chief Joseph Amarua Riverwind is a Arawak Taino Indian born in Rios Piedras, Puerto Rico. He was raised by his grandparents in the central mountains of Borican.
So he ain't no 5 cent. He raised in the mountains. He ain't no $5 Indian. He ain't paid for I'm an Indian, I'm white. He lived in the mountains with his grandparents. Go ahead.
His family are Haberos from...
Or what?
Haberos.
Which goes back to the word what? Hebrews. Haberos. People of the mountains. Go ahead.
From Jayuya, which is known as the indigenous capital of Puerto Rico. He also traces his lineage to the Benai Anusim who fled Spain and Portugal in 1492.
The Benai Anusim are the forced ones. Those are the conversos. Benai Anusim means coerced or forced, meaning the forced converts. He traces his lineage back basically through his mother to the Jews that fled from Spain and Portugal and arrived here in the Americas around the 1490s, after Columbus showed up here. All right? So he's saying he's saying he's a Jew on both sides. He's a Hebrew on his father's side and a Hebrew on his mother's side. That's what he's trying to say, because they're both the same people. Now, whether his mom is an Edomite convert, I don't know. Most likely she might be. That's why he looks the way he does. However, there is relation between the original Benai Anusim, or Spanish Portuguese Jews, and the Native Americans. They're both the same people and underwent the same conditions in the 1400s during the conquest of the Spaniards. All right? So now, let's get Hosea 1, verse 1.
Hosea chapter Hosea chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Bari, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Oh, and by the way, thank you, Captain Zakar, right? Captain Zakar?
Yes.
Shout out to Captain Zakar. The Zistas, the people of the fringes, they didn't wear fringes on four corners. They wore them all around their garment. They're called people of the fringes. They wore them properly. Not these so-called fringes with just four corners. That's not biblical. They wore them all around. Like the garments you saw in that picture, they were going to war. Even the horse had them all around his neck. He didn't have no four corners of his neck. It was all around.
Right.
All around the pants legs, all around their ankles, all around their waists, all around their horse's neck, the bridle, all around.
Deacon, there's no archaeology pointing to fringes being on the
None.
four corners. That's
None.
not one
None.
documented information.
None.
Not one shoestring found.
Not one. Only people that's shown is Amalek. That's
Yup.
it.
That's it. Eat them. That's it. Let's continue. Hosea 1, where you at?
The word of the Lord that came unto Hosea, the son of Bari, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said to Hosea, Go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms, for the land hath committed great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Gebalaam, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, Call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel and of the house of Jehu, and will cause the cease of the kingdom of the house of Israel.
So this is a prophecy of Hosea regarding Israel's fate. All right? And he's going to use Hosea as an ensign to symbolize the fate or the fall of the northern kingdom of Israel. Go ahead.
And it came to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
Right, go ahead.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And God said unto him, Call her name Lurahama.
So the first, you have a child, name her what?
Lurahama. For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel.
So you will no longer have mercy upon. So the first time he had a daughter, a woman, this woman was an idolater and a whore, idolatrous whore. Hosea's, he said, name her. She bare him a son, and the son's name was Jezreel, or which means God is sown or seed of God. God is sown or seed of God, either one. Okay, son of God or God's seed. All right? So he had a son named Jezreel. Then he had a daughter named Leruhamah, which means what? It means, her name means no mercy. So the seed of Israel shall receive no mercy. His sons are being used as signs against Israel. So the son's name will be Israel, daughter's name will be no mercy. No mercy for who? No mercy for northern kingdom. Watch this.
But I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
He spared Judah. Go ahead.
Now when she had weaned
Leruhamah's around 3 years old now. Go ahead.
She conceived and bare a son.
And another son. Go ahead.
Then said God, Call his name Laomi.
Loami. Go ahead.
For ye are not my people.
Laomi means not my people. So Jezreel would not have mercy and would what? No longer be my people or called my people anymore. Still referring to Israel now. Go ahead.
And I will not be your God.
And I will not be your God. So if you're not God's people and he's not your God, what's that make you? It makes you a Gentile. It makes you a stranger. It makes you a heathen. And later on, it makes you a Greek. Later on, it makes you a Grecian. Later on, it makes you a Scythian, a Corinthian, a Thessalonian, a Galatian. That's what it makes you later on in Paul's letters. That's who he was talking to. A stranger. That's who Peter is writing to. That's who James is writing to. Go ahead.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God.
That's this. So we are the sons of God. Both of them shall be gathered together and be called the sons of God. Go ahead.
Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together.
Brought together as one again.
And appoint themselves one head.
One shepherd. Go ahead.
And they shall come up out of the land.
Taken up, delivered up out of the land. Go ahead.
For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Great shall be the day of God's chosen people. Now, get me Ezekiel 37, verse 16. Keep that in mind.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 16.
Remember, he said about Israel, he said, my people will not have any mercy and not be my people, nor will I be their God. 37, verse 16 to 24.
Moreover, the Son of Man, take thee one stick and write upon it, for Judah and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions. And join them one to another in one stick.
Put them all on one, write them all, put them all on one sign. You write them on. Go ahead.
And they shall become one in thy hand.
And put them all as one. Go ahead.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
What does this mean? Why you have them all together for?
Say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick.
Make them one stick. Go ahead.
And they shall be one in my hand.
Go ahead.
And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before thy eyes.
And the sticks wherein thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. That is called a camp sign. That's called a camp sign. What you have written down, you're going to have it before their eyes. They can see it and ask, what is this about? Why do you have that there? Why are all these guys written on this sign here? What's this about? Go ahead.
And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land.
Go ahead.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
You'll gather them together, Hosea 1:11. Go ahead.
And one king shall be king to them all.
They shall appoint themselves one head, same exact thing being said.
And they shall be no more two nations.
They shall no longer be called two nations, southern kingdom, northern kingdom, southern nation, northern nation. Go ahead.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
Go ahead.
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God.
24.
And David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes and do them.
They all shall have one shepherd. Who? Judah and Israel. Judah and Israel. They shall have one shepherd. Now, watch this. Give me John 10:15. Oh, okay. Yeah. John 10:15.
The book of John, chapter 10, verse 15. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep.
Hold on. Let me get there with you.
Yes, sir.
Let me get there with you. Hold on. I read again.
John, chapter 10, verse 15. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep.
Lay down his life for Jesus Christ. Talk about the sheep. Who's the sheep? The lost sheep of the house of Israel. Judah and Israel. Go ahead, watch this.
And other sheep I have.
And other sheep I have. Go ahead.
Which are not of this fold.
What is the fold he's referring to? This fold is his fold. That's Judah. Judah, Benjamin, Levi is his fold. But there's other sheep he has which are not of that fold. What's not of that fold? Northern kingdom. The other 9. Go ahead.
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. And there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
There shall be one fold, he shall gather together in one the sticks of Ephraim and Judah. Or Joseph and Judah, same thing. Ezekiel 37, Hosea 1, saying the same thing. Other sheep I have, which are not this fold, and there shall be one fold, and they shall have one shepherd, or appoint themselves one head. Let's get some more. 11:49.
John chapter 11, verse 49. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man shall die for the people.
One man should die for the people. And I don't see all people here. It says the people. One man should die for the people. Caiaphas, a Jew. Go ahead.
And
Said this. Go ahead.
And that the whole nation perish not.
And that the whole, not all nations, the whole nation, or the people of that nation, singular, die not. Go ahead.
And this spake he not of himself.
He wasn't referring to himself dying for the people or that whole nation. Go ahead.
But being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation.
That Jesus should die for that nation. Watch this.
And not for that nation only.
Not for that fold of his own fold, Judah. Go ahead.
But that also he should gather together in one.
He should gather together in one. Gather together one stick. Hosea and Judah put together again. One fold. Go ahead.
The children of God that were scattered abroad.
That were what?
That were scattered abroad.
Because the 10 tribes or 9 were scattered abroad. The majority of Judah remained in the land. But the northern kingdom primarily was scattered abroad. Why? Because what? What happened? They received no mercy, and they were what? Not his people anymore. So they were scattered and dispersed first during Assyria. Then Judah took over after. But Judah came back. Ephraim did not come back. Not all of them, not entirely. All right? So it says the children of God that are scattered abroad. Give me Isaiah 7, verse 1.
Dick, would you also say this shed light on Matthew 15:24?
Yes,
what
it does.
Christ came to do?
Yep.
Christ came to only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So was the northern kingdom, and that's what he did, bringing all them back together.
Mm-hmm. Because under the old covenant, it cannot be done. Under the old covenant, that's what I said. That's what Caiaphas said. He must die for the people, that the nation, the whole nation,
right,
perish not. The whole nation. The whole doesn't mean the whole. Remember, the Judah meant only they were going to be saved. Caiaphas said, nah. Not only can we get salvation from this man's death, all 12 got to be saved.
Right.
All 12 must be saved. The 3 that are here, and the 9 or 10, well, if you include Dan, the 9 or 10 that are scattered abroad must also be gathered together as well, in which the Most High, through his son, put the power in Paul to go about and do, and some disciples.
And what people don't realize, the whole conspiracy or plot against discrediting any information come about Northern Kingdom being the Israelites is to keep the promises being fulfilled of Abraham.
Right.
Because it says, unto thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
Mm-hmm.
That's mean because under the like I said, old covenant, and when Northern Kingdom being cast away, it was just 3 tribes. Northern Kingdom was already gone, so all 12 tribes, Israel in general, cannot receive the promises or the kingdom without the northern tribes.
Right.
So that's why the northern tribes had to be grafted back into the fold so that we can fulfill the promises of Abraham and the reward of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Israelite supremacy.
That's right.
Israelite dominance.
Right.
Israelite superior power, world superpower.
Right.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the reason why they try to discredit. And they got you Negroes believing that the Northern Kingdom is not the Israelites. Keep on believing that. We're going to stay here in America longer than you think if you go with that doctrine. You keeping back the blessings of Abraham because we cannot get the blessings without Northern Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So you might just get in where you fit in. Keep your big mouth shut, black woman. Sorry.
Right, and
I just have to throw that in.
And also, that goes back to the Pharisees again. The Pharisees didn't believe that Ephraim could be saved, and they're all back again. That's the Bishop's class from last night.
Took the words from my mouth.
You're all alive again. You're all back again, being rebellious and hateful as you were before, as your fathers before you.
Yep.
You're your father the devil.
You're your father the devil. In the words of your father,
Bring it out.
Your father he will do. Women too. You're your father the devil.
The worst.
I said, bring it out.
Yeah.
And Dick, if you look, that says something like when you read Matthew 18:11, it says, "For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost." Mm-hmm. So the Northern Kingdom that was lost.
Right,
That's
exactly.
He came to save them and grafted them in.
Right. You Isaiah 7 verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 7 verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up toward Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it.
Go ahead.
And it was told the house of David, saying, Syria is confederate with Ephraim.
So remember, at this point, Ephraim and Judah were split up based upon Solomon's son's foolishness. Israel was split up into 2 kingdoms, or 2 nations, if you read in Ezekiel 37, and they were against each other. So Syria allied themselves with Ephraim to overthrow Judah. Go ahead. And they got word that Syria allied themselves with Ephraim to overthrow Judah. Watch this.
And his heart was moved.
And King Ahaz of Judah was scared. Go ahead.
And the heart of his people.
And the people under him was scared. Go ahead.
As the trees of the wood are moved with the wind. Then said the Lord unto Isaiah, Go forth now to meet Ahaz, thou and Shear-Jashub.
Shear-Jashub.
Oh, dang. Shear-Jashub. Sorry, Deacon.
It's all right. Thy son.
Thy son.
Isaiah's son. Go ahead.
At the end of the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field, and say unto him, Take heed, and be quiet. Fear not, neither be faint-hearted for the two tails of these smoking firebrands. For the fierce anger of Rezin with Syria, and of the son Remaliah.
So Remaliah was of Ephraim, and Rezin was the king of Syria. Go ahead.
Because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have taken evil counsel against these
Now,
saying.
mind you, Ephraim and Syria allied themselves. Best believe Ephraim was laying with them as well.
Right.
Ephraim was mixing around with Syrians as well as the Assyrians, as well as the Medes, and everybody else they lived amongst. They intermingled with. Go ahead.
Let us go up against Judah and vex it.
Let you and me, Ephraim and Syria, go up against Judah. Go ahead.
And let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even a son of Tabael.
We're going to set up the guy named Tabael. Go ahead. Son of Tabael. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord God, It shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass. For the head of Syria is Damascus.
The head of Syria, their capital is Damascus. Go ahead.
And the head of Damascus is Rezin.
And the head of Damascus is Rezin the king. Go ahead.
And with 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people.
Ephraim be what?
That Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people.
That goes back to Hosea 1. That's the prophecy regarding Ephraim will be broken, that they no longer be a people. They be what? Lost. Gentiles, scattered abroad. The same Gentiles that are scattered abroad you read about all throughout the New Testament that you guys are confused about. That's what it's going into. Give me Isaiah 56, verse 8. We're almost done. I'm going to try to run through it fast before we wrap it up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 8. The Lord God which gathered the outcasts of Israel saith, Yet will I gather others to him.
Remember that? I will gather what? Read again.
Yet will I gather others to him, beside those that are gathered unto him.
Stop. So he shall gather others to him beside those that are gathered to him. Who's gathered to him? Judah. Who are the others? It's the other sheep in John 10 and 15 and 16.
Right.
Or the children of God scattered abroad in John 11. Or Ephraim. Or now this fold. Or different nation, different kingdom. Read again.
The Lord God which gathered the outcasts of Israel
He
saith,
gathered the outcasts of Israel. The outcasts of Israel. Why the outcasts? Not a people. No mercy. Made them outcasts. Go ahead.
Yet will I gather others to him, besides those that are gathered unto him.
I will gather others to him beside those that are gathered unto him, because Judah was already gathered to him. They had the temple, had the priests. So he had to get Ephraim also. Isaiah 11, verse 10. We're almost done.
Isaiah chapter 11, verse 10.
Real quick. Come on.
And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek.
That's referring to Christ. Go ahead.
And his rest shall be glorious.
His rest shall be glorious to us. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
Go ahead.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations.
The nations are referring to the Israel scattered abroad. Go ahead. Go on.
And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. Come on.
And gather together.
And gather what?
Together.
Gather together, Hosea 1, Ezekiel 37.
The dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
See that? He'll gather together the outcasts of Israel and together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. They'll gather together in one. Same thing. Same exact thing being said. So we're going to wrap it up with that. Lord's will, we're going to bring up some more stuff next week. No interruptions. Hopefully nothing takes place. So we're going to give shout-outs to the brothers. And I'm going to give their names. Officer Yosef, Asa, Abaddon, Manny, Soldiers Medad, Elia, Shaltiel, and Amiron. Sisters Murder and Jael for the breakfast. It was excellent as usual. It was grade A stuff right there. Restaurant.
Hey, listen, those sisters set me up today.
Captain Jerome was like a drunk over here. He's passed out in the chair over here. Lights, horrible, man.
Those grits hit
Breakfast
me, man.
was excellent.
IT team, excellent job today. Excellent job. All praise to the Lord.
Praise
Excellent
the
stuff.
Most
The
High
brothers
IT
moving
team.
efficient, getting more efficient with the sound effects. Y'all doing y'all thing over there. Great blessings to y'all and much thanks and appreciation to also to them and also to you viewers. We thank you. Hope you took some lessons, took some notes, and prepare for next week. We're gonna get some more stuff. We're gonna get more into it. Eventually, making our way to the other side of the world, which will be the old world. All right, we're gonna get there soon with Hannibal and so forth. So just stay tuned, stay patient, and that's about it. Any announcements?
Like I said, like we state every week, please help and assist us in the progression of our show. As you can see, we was able to update our equipment to be more efficient, to deliver the information you uncut and uninterrupted. And we appreciate you guys for this information. Like I said, without you, we cannot do what we're doing. As I said, it takes all of us to contribute to the reviving of our nation. So donate if you want to assist us and donate. Like I said, if you got big pockets, also you can get us the Lord's Kingsborough book. That's $60,000. You celebrities out there that's listening that don't want the white man to make a fool out of you, just use us. We got you. And
That's
saying,
right.
just give us. You got those big bucks, $6,000. What's that to you? Like $1? $6,000 a lifetime for us.
5 cents.
Yeah, 5 cents.
Tax write-off.
Yeah, tax write-off. Also, if you want to make a special donation to my book club, because I cannot afford the books right now without the assistance of Trump, you can do that too. Just write Captain Joel in the notes.
Wow, okay.
So IUIC.Philadelphia at IsraelUnite.org. If you want to donate, just put it in the notes section. Our Hidden History Show. If you want to help assist us to upgrade us, and also the books that we cannot purchase. In addition, support the troops, to support the truth and getting this truth throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Donate to the Booster Club, IUIC.fundraiser at IsraelUnite.org. Once again, IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org. All praise to the Most High.
Yes. And last but not least, let's
Don't do
give
it.
the Lord a round of
Okay, all
applause for
praises.
putting the spirit on Deacon. Weekly, consistently bringing out this truth. So all praises to the Most High for blessing us with our Deek.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. And Lord's will, see you next week. Shalom.
All right, shalom,
Most High, God
Israel.
bless.
Most High,
Shalom.
Christ bless.
Most High, God bless.